See, gonna turn up my volume so I can hear my voice. Hi folks, good morning. Hi Erica. How are y'all doing, everybody? Hi folks, happy Saturday. If you are just tuning in and you're voting for Donald Trump, join the guest request and let's have a conversation about it. But if you are voting for Kamala Harris, hit that like button, hit the share button, help us help us get to 10,000 likes. Hi Dee Dee. Hello May May. How are y'all doing, everybody? Hi Ellie. Hi folks and friends. Folks, if you are voting for Donald Trump, join the guest request and let's have a conversation about it. If you're voting for Kamala Harris, please do hit that like button, hit the share button, help us get to 10,000 likes. Hi folks. It's so good to see everybody. Good morning. Everybody doing breakfast? Oh my gosh, where's my inhaler? I'm gonna need this sooner than later. Hi everybody. Folks, so if you are voting for Donald Trump, join the guest request and let's have a conversation about it. But if you are voting for Kamala Harris, hit that like button, help us get to 10,000 likes. We're going to get started in just a couple minutes. How did I get my cough? My cough is from COVID and it is lung damage. So it's the rest of my life. Everybody has a superpower, right? Some people are great cooks. Some people are really great with athletics. Some people are good actors. Everybody has like a superpower. My superpower is that if I hold my breath for too long, I pass out. Anyway, so folks, if you are voting for Donald Trump, join the conversation. Let's have a chat. So again, if you're voting for Donald Trump, join the guest request. If you are voting for Kamala Harris, hit that like button. Help us get to 10,000 likes. We're already halfway there. We are going to get started in just a minute, okay? How y'all doing? Everybody having a good morning? Happy Saturday, folks. So folks, again, if you are voting for Donald Trump, join the guest request and let's have a conversation. If you're voting for Kamala, hit that like button. We're going to get started in about 15 seconds. Oh my goodness, my lungs are acting up this morning. Oh my gosh. All right, let's try to get a guest up here. We only have people who have already came up before. Folks, if you are in the chat, don't be shy. Jump on into the guest request and let's have a conversation about it. Come on up. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. Oh wait, my hands are too big for this. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. Join the guest request. Let's have a conversation about it. It's going to be great. It's going to be huge. You look at Russia and you look at China, and what do they got in common? Everybody agrees on two things. One, Celine Dion's a very good singer. Number two, Johnny's a very nice guy. All right, hi Kyle, are you voting for Donald Trump?
No, I just wanted to come up and say, hope you're having a good Saturday.
Thank you, Fetus Deletus. Let's get up our next guest. If you are voting for Donald Trump, join the guest request and let's have a conversation about it. If you're voting for Kamala Harris, please do hit that like button, hit the share button, help us get to 20,000 likes. Y'all are already at 10,000 likes. If you guys like the live this quickly, MAGA Republicans are going to start saying we're ballot stuffing the like button. Be careful, y'all. Hello, guest. Are you voting for Donald Trump?
No, I'm 15 and I love
Kamala. I appreciate that you love Kamala, but we are just looking to talk to Trump supporters right now, and especially ones who are old enough to vote. Let's get up our next guest.
Yeah, I'm voting for Trump.
Do you want to wait a second? Like, was I on you yet?
I mean,
no?
I
wasn't. Can you hold on a second?
I knew you
Can
were
you wait a
ask
second?
what you
Hey,
asked.
hey. Can you wait a second?
Oh, yeah, I got you, sir.
Great. So why are you voting for a criminal?
Why are you voting for an idiot?
I'm not voting for Donald Trump. I'm voting for Kamala Harris.
Do their term.
I just said
Why
I'm
would
not
you
voting
vote
for the
somebody that
idiot.
can't
Blah,
do
blah,
the
blah, blah, blah,
job?
blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
Calm down. We're not going to do this
you
when you
asked
talk
the
over me.
question and I'm
And
answering.
I just said I wasn't voting for the idiot. I'm voting for Kamala Harris. You're the one voting for the idiot. So why are you voting for Donald Trump, a convicted felon?
Why am I voting for somebody that's going to help with my taxes and make the economy better. The
Chat,
whole
pick a
4
spot.
years he was in office, there was no war. You understand what war is?
Okay, first off, take a
even when
step back. Let's
Putin goes to
recognize
war,
one. You just said
it
that there was
costs-
no new
it
war.
costs us
You
money.
just said that there was no new war under Donald Trump. We
That's
know
right.
that not to be true. One, Donald Trump was presiding.
what
I'm
war did
speaking,
you
and I'll
go to?
explain it to you if you listen. You need to calm down. Okay? Especially on an account that doesn't belong to you, you need to calm down when you're going to dox
No,
someone
it
else
is my
like this.
account. That is my name, you stupid idiot.
Oh.
See, this is the ignorance that people have.
Is it?
Ashley is a man's name. Look it up.
Oh,
Yes, look it up.
okay, yeah.
That's why you're so ignorant.
No, yeah.
You are ignorant because you don't know.
Okay. Anyway.
Yeah, because you don't
So-
know. You assume.
Okay.
You know what
can you?
assume means?
All right. Here's what we need to
You
do.
make an ass.
Calm down, Ashley. Listen, what I'm trying to better understand here is where your ignorance is coming from. You just said that there were no wars under Donald Trump, but we recognize that Donald Trump oversaw one of the largest starvations and genocides in Yemen. He abandoned the Kurds. We could also talk about Afghanistan, but you don't want to talk about that stuff, obviously. You'd rather gaslight the chat. You now have an echo. Scroll out of the app and scroll back in, okay? And hurry up. Thank you so much, David, for the gift. I appreciate it. So, Ashley, let me better understand this as well. When you come in and talk about taxes, too, we can either talk about foreign policy or we could talk about the economy, but we can't do both at the same time. Oh, he ran away. Ashley ran away. Moo. Let's get some cow emojis in the chat, please. Let's get up the next guest. I don't know why Ashley was so sassy. Like, it's not personal. Speaking of, we have It's Personal coming up. Their name is It's Personal. How funny is that? Okay, chat, pick a spot. Hello, guest. Are you voting for Donald Trump?
I am.
That's disgusting.
I don't understand why you initially go to "I'm a disgusting person" for.
I didn't call you a disgusting person. I just said that's disgusting. If
Why do
you
you
think
think
you're a
that's
disgusting
disgusting?
person and that's you, getting all up in your feely feels, that's on you. I can't help you. I don't need the whole coming of age journey story. I'm just not interested. So why are you voting for the criminal?
Why do you gaslight people?
It's a tie. Anyway, so why are you voting for the criminal? Hurry up.
No, I'm asking you. Why do you gaslight people like this?
Well, it depends. I'm good at two things.
I'm talking right now.
Yeah, and I'm
talking
speaking
right-
now,
I'm
baby.
talking right now.
Do you know
I'm
what's so
speaking. I'm
funny?
speaking.
You're actually not speaking. Look at that. Actually, you're quiet. Isn't that cute? I just told you that I want to know why you're why you're voting for the criminal, and you're getting all up in the feely feels. If you need a therapist, seek it elsewhere because I'm not it. So again, why are you voting for the criminal? Unmute and hurry up. This really shouldn't take this long. You know how to unmute. Hurry up. I don't have all day.
You there?
So why are you voting for a criminal?
Why do you gaslight people? That's what I want
It's
to
not
know.
gaslighting. He is a criminal.
It is.
No.
It is.
Do you know what gaslight means? Tell me. Define gaslight.
I do. What
Define
you're doing
it.
to everybody that comes
Define it.
on.
Define
you interrupt.
gaslight.
I'm talking right now.
That's not gaslighting.
I'm talking right
okay.
now.
He's not
I'm
engaging in
talking
a
right now.
conversation.
I
This one's
am.
not looking to engage in a conversation. I've asked 4 times, why are you voting for the felon? He won't answer, so I'm just going to move on. He's like, you're gaslighting. I say, define gaslight. He won't define it. Listen, there's nowhere to, Hello, guest. Are you voting for Donald Trump?
No, I just had one question.
All right, wait, hold on one sec. Cool. Let's get up our next guest. Folks, if you are voting for Donald Trump, join the guest request and let's have a conversation about it. If you're voting for Kamala Harris, please hit that like button. Help us get to 50,000 likes. Hello, Teresa. Are you voting for Donald Trump?
I'm 9 years old.
Okay, fetus deletus. Fetus deletus. Poof. You know that spell is actually banned in a couple states, including Alabama. Be careful where you fetus deletus, people. Hello, guest. Are you voting for the criminal?
Yes.
That's disgusting.
Okay.
That's all.
You want to ask me why?
Not really, but I guess I have to. So why are you voting for a criminal?
Because we need less gays.
Okay. Well, you have one standing right in front of you, and I'm going to laugh my way all the way to the White House when Kamala becomes your president. Goodbye. Folks, if you want to support this one who is right in front of him, my Venmo, PayPal, Cash App are in my bio. Feel free to support me. Feel free to support this one right here. Hi, guest. Are you voting for the criminal?
Absolutely not.
Let's get some W's in the chat. Thank you for coming up, folks. If you are voting for Donald Trump, join the guest request. Let's have a conversation about it. Hello, guest. Are you voting for Donald Trump?
No, I'm not. Wait, hold on.
What is going on? Let's take a 10-second quick break. Let's all think. If you are voting for Donald Trump and you are in my comment section right now, get your ass into my guest request or my moderators are going to boot you out of the live stream faster than Donald Trump's ass is going to get escorted into a prison cell after his November sentencing. Understood? I don't need you being a keyboard warrior. I don't need you crying about why you're voting for Trump and you're sad he's going to lose in my comment section. What I need you to do is, if you are voting for Trump, get your butt into my guest request. Understood? Okay, hopefully that was crystal clear. Going forward, if you're not in my guest request and you are voting for Trump, but you're commenting it, you will be blocked. Understood? Call it censorship. Call it what you want. I don't want a keyboard warrior. I want to hear your voice. So get into my guest request or shut your mouth. It's so simple. Anybody can do it. Y'all think I'm the one. I'm really not. Hello, are you voting for Donald Trump?
Yes, I am.
That's gross. Why?
Because I don't agree with 85,000 migrant children being in slavery by this administration.
Ma'am, it's not my fault that Donald Trump keeps wanting to get his wives from out of the country, okay? Listen, he's the one who keeps marrying the illegal immigrants.
Keep on with your bullshit, because
you sound like a nice woman.
I'm not a nice woman.
I can tell.
I'm a fed up woman with people like you.
So let me better understand this. You're voting for the criminal.
Other people's rights.
Ma'am, I'm ignoring the rights. You're the one voting for somebody who tried to strip away the right to choose and overturns Roe v. Wade, the guy who violated the Constitution,
You're
that being the Second Amendment.
Babies. I'm talking about saving children.
Take a step back. That ain't the truth. You don't have a single policy on your candidate's platform that benefits a mother after you force her to carry a child to term for 9 months. You understand that you don't have one single solitary policy point that benefits a mother financially. But you're going to tell me you care about life? No, it's not about life. It's about pro-forced birth. And then the moment she gives birth, you say, yeah, screw ya, and you leave her alone. That's not okay. So let me better understand why you're voting for this candidate. I've had 12. Thank you. Now again, tell me, and let me better understand this. Let me better understand this. Do you want to have a conversation or do you want to cry? Great. So now it's my turn. Listen very closely. Now that I have your attention, tell me exactly why you are voting for a criminal, felon, sexual abuser, and let's go from there.
Okay, let's see. Harris, when she was a DA, withheld evidence to get people out of jail that were innocent.
Do you prefer to, where do you get your news from? Get me a source.
That is a fact.
Get me a source. Source, go.
California
source.
District.
Source it up.
I read it on U.S. News.
On U.S. News? What is U.S. News? What is the source?
Facts.
What is the source?
Oh, are you going to yell at me now?
Apparently that'll help you. Maybe it's a hearing deficiency. Tell me again.
Why not?
What is the source? Is it USA Today? Is it Fox News? ABC News? NPR? Reuters? What is the source?
It was NBC, I believe, is what I read it on. Oh, you know everything.
So let's carry on. Tell me one policy.
No, let's don't carry on. Answer my question about the 85,000 children.
I don't know why Donald Trump wants to get more illegal immigrants in here to marry them. But again, he's already got Melania. Maybe he'll stick to one wife for more than 10 years. Tell me now, what I'm curious about is why you are advocating for the candidate who blocked the border policy. The guy who blocked the bill that would have secured the border in its entirety, making this conversation you and I are having redundant about the border. Do you know what the border policy was?
Harris and
do you know? That's not true. Do you know what the border bill was? That's not true. Do you know what the border bill was?
That I live in Texas and I know exactly what our laws were.
So what is the border bill? Break it down.
Our border laws said you have to come in through a port of entry.
No, you're not listening.
And be counted.
You're not listening. Try again.
Listening.
What is the border bill? What was the border bill that Donald Trump shut down? Do you know what was in it?
You don't know what was in it.
Oh my gosh. Y'all, this is not a retirement home. What are we doing? Ma'am, listen very closely. Do you support the wall? Oh, you ran away. What is going on? Let's get some cow emojis in the chat. Moo. Oh, let's get some cow emojis in the chat. She literally, Skylar, thank you so much for the $5. I can't. It's like, and I love when Republicans are like, Johnny's so rude. She was dropping the F slur, running around screaming over me. What do you mean? The gaslighting is surreal. MAGA Republicans, they see somebody so disrespectful like her, and then they act like she's the victim. Like, are you out of your mind? Brandy, hi, are you voting for the criminal?
Yeah.
Ew.
So I just have.
Hold on a second. I just wanted to sit on that ew for a moment longer. So why are you voting for a criminal?
How are you gonna say let's have a conversation and then yell the whole time?
Do you want to cry more about it?
Oh no, honey, I'm not.
Great.
Crying.
So then why are you voting for a criminal?
Why do you think? You're stupid.
How old are you?
You don't know.
How old are you?
What the fuck you're
How
doing.
old are you?
Huh?
How old are you? Did I stutter?
19.
Okay. So you want to come up here as a 19-year-old and justify why it's
Well,
okay
how
to
old
vote
are
for
you?
it.
Because
I'm
you're acting
speaking.
really immature.
See the gaslighting where you say that I cut people
No,
off
you don't
and
know
you
what
just cut me off.
gaslighting is. You don't know what
Cry
nothing
more.
is. How are
Cry
you going
more.
to go over here say
All right,
let's have a
here's what we're
conversation?
gonna do. You're in timeout, okay? Because you're a fetus, and so now the fetus is in timeout. So listen very closely. You're a 19-year-old who's coming up here to tell on both sides of the aisle, Republicans and Democrats alike, why they should vote for a felon, civil fraudster, somebody who was found liable of sexual abuse. You want to talk on behalf of that. Really? Because the only experience you have with the economy is what mommy and daddy gave you. Okay. And then I can recognize your uneducation because even when you tried to drop the F-bomb, you stuttered over it. You tripped over it. So you're nervous. Then you gaslight by saying, Johnny's yelling over me. No, Johnny's trying to talk to you. You're screaming and calling Johnny stupid as you yell over him. If you want to be treated like an adult, act your age. Okay? So unmute. This time, try to act like an adult, or you'll be treated like a child and tossed right back into timeout. So why are you voting for a criminal? Hurry up and unmute. You should be more technologically literate than most people. At the prime age of 19, you should know exactly how to unmute. Don't act like you don't. Don't act like you don't. Thank you so much for the glitter, and thank you, Millie, for the galaxy. Thank you so much. Brandy's gonna act like she's stuck on mute and unable to talk, even though we know very well that Brandy knows how to unmute. Brandy, this is beyond insane. You understand that if you're saying you're 19, you certainly know how to unmute. Why is it that people who come in here at the age of 90 know how to unmute, but you at the age of 19 don't know how to unmute? Like, are we really going to act like that this is... Okay. Let's get up the next guest because Brandy's hiding. Let's be clear. Brandy knew how to unmute. Brandy didn't want to unmute because Brandy got slapped down. It's pretty simple. Pretty simple. MAGA Republicans, please stop crying. Try to come up here and let's have a conversation about it. You don't need to be all up in your feels the entire time. Okay? You don't got to be all up in your feels the entire time. I can't wait until one comes up, drops the F slur, and runs away giggling. Like, we know it's going to happen sooner than later. Hello, guest. Are you voting for the criminal?
Yeah.
Does your profile photo seem normal to you?
Yeah.
Does it now?
Does it seem normal? Yeah, I mean, and yeah, it's a pretty normal profile picture.
Not really. You put the word MAGA in your profile name. So, like, you really made this whole thing your personality, huh? You were like, I'm going to make this my everything. That's not correct. That's not normal. That's a little weird. Have you ever thought of, like, I don't know, pursuing anything
about
else?
As weird as your shirt.
At least it's not my profile
hat
photo.
combo. You seem to be making it your personality too.
Yeah. So there's one thing to put merch on. It's another thing to make your profile photo and name match with the MAGA experience. That's a little different.
I don't know.
So let me better understand, and I want to better understand this too. You understand that my candidate, like this one right here, isn't a criminal. You might as well put, like...
Right, she just releases criminals.
Another criminal. You might as well just put a criminal in your profile photo.
Right, she just welcomes criminals into the country. Yeah.
So let me better understand this. Why are you voting for a felon?
You know, it's funny. I was actually planning on voting Democrat this
No,
year,
you
but
weren't.
the fact that they didn't even give me a chance
You
to
weren't
vote
planning
for
on
the
voting
candidate.
Democrat. If I had a
Well, I
nickel,
was actually.
no,
I'll tell you
weren't.
this.
If
I'll
I
tell
had
you
a
this.
nickel, and I'll tell you this, if I had a nickel for every time you MAGA Republicans came up here and said you're either a lifelong Democrat or you were going to vote Democrat, I would be a fucking billionaire. Like,
Well, they didn't
you
let
understand
Bobby Kennedy
every
run as a
single.
Democrat,
Think about
so
it.
there you go.
Every single
gonna be
one
my
of you
candidate.
MAGA Republicans, every single one of you MAGA Republicans say the same thing. I'm a Democrat. I was an Obama supporter. I was a Democrat my whole life. That's statistically impossible by this point, because how would Donald Trump have won in 2016 if all of y'all were Democrats? Okay, so let's better understand this. You suggested that Kamala Harris was letting criminals out. That doesn't make sense because your party, Donald Trump himself, says she's actually over-prosecuting and locking too many people up. So is she over-prosecuting and is Donald Trump right? Or are you right and she's under-prosecuting and letting criminals go? Who's right, Donald Trump or you?
I said letting them in. I didn't say letting them out. I'm not.
You did.
I'm not.
Maybe
familiar
you're
with their
confused.
time as
And I
a
hear the shaking in your
prosecutor, but
voice.
she
So maybe
probably
you're
did a shitty
confused.
job.
No, maybe you're confused. You said letting them go. You said letting criminals go. Donald Trump says that she is locking people up at a higher extent than she should be. So is she locking everybody up or is she letting them go? Who's right, you or Donald Trump?
Is he talking about her time as a prosecutor or right now?
You said she was releasing criminals. Donald Trump said she was locking too many people up. So is he right or are you right?
I said she's letting criminals into
You
this
did
country.
not. You said she is letting criminals go.
Either way, yeah, Donald Trump probably is right.
Okay, so then you're wrong, and you're not even getting your own candidate's stance on the issue correct. And let's recognize Kamala Harris is the first Democrat from your party that you MAGA Republicans isn't claiming is weak on crime, but rather you're claiming is too tough on crime. And that speaks volumes to how your party has fallen from being the law and order party to being the pro-crime party, as you put a candidate up who is a felon himself. Bradley, thank you so much for the galaxy. So let me better understand this. Why are you voting for a felon? And if you could break it down by using Donald Trump's name rather than pivoting to Kamala, that would be more productive to the conversation. Continue.
Well, there was no pivot at all. I was just saying that the
Great. This is a
candidate that I
pivot
wanted
right
to
now.
vote for
This is a
tried to
pivot
run
right
as a
now.
Democrat.
This
They
is a
wouldn't
pivot right
let
now.
him.
This is a pivot right now. Why are you voting for a felon?
Because he's the Republican ticket. That's who I'm.
Solely
that's-
based off of that. You know no policy, you know no background, you know no characteristics. Really?
I mean, there's been a background of him running. He's been president for 4 years already.
Right, and it was an awful 4 years. So tell me again, why are you voting
I'm
for
sure
the felon?
you struggled. I'm sure you struggled a lot more. Back
You
then
understand
than
he
you
was
do now.
president during a pandemic. Are you trying to trick people into thinking that the pandemic was more efficient for our lifestyles than we are doing better today? I mean, it just doesn't make sense. So help me better understand this. Again, one more time.
No, I know.
Maybe you can
Y'all
answer
love
for
to
the
plan
fifth time.
Y'all love to
Maybe
pin the whole
you can.
pandemic on him.
Maybe you can answer for the fifth time if I ask you for the fifth time. Why are you voting for the felon? This is a simple question. I haven't even asked you about a stat. I haven't asked you about a percentage. If you can't answer this, then I have to assume you can't talk about policy.
My values align more with him. And
Where do you stand on abortion?
I believe in the exceptions, but apart from that, I'm pretty much pro-life.
So, grape, incest, life of the mother.
Right.
Yes or no? So if a woman is raped, she can have an abortion.
Yes, those are.
If a woman is the victim of incest, abortion, yes or no?
Yes.
If a woman's life is at risk, abortion, yes or no? Okay. What is your weekly cutoff? Right now, on average, it's 18 to 24 weeks.
Really just late term. Late term
Excuse me?
late term abortions is
What
what
is
I
your
don't
weekly
agree
cutoff?
with. As far as the
Right
pregnancy.
now, the average is 18 to 24 weeks. What do you agree with?
I mean, I don't really have a week number in mind, but I mean,
Is that because it's 0
6
weeks, or is that because you don't care? Like, you need to give a week.
Okay.
The average is 18 to 24 weeks. That is what Democrats and Republicans support. So where is your stance on this?
I mean, yeah, around that time.
Okay, so then that's pro-choice. That is pro-choice. But let's also recognize if you're pro-choice, you'd be voting for Kamala. Kamala believes in the right to choose for women, letting them have the freedom to define their own destiny. However, let's also recognize that Kamala has a pro-life stance as well. She has a permanent $6,000 child tax credit that will benefit mothers financially after they give birth. So if they choose to give birth, they will be financially supported so that they can have that child and raise that child and feed that child. Pro-lifers should be supporting that. Donald Trump is not pro-life. You said you're voting with him because he shares your values, but you have pro-choice values. You claim to be pro-life, and Donald Trump is neither pro-choice or pro-life. He stripped away a woman's right to choose, and he doesn't have a single policy that benefits the mother financially after he forces her to give birth. He's pro-forced birth.
I've heard him say multiple times he believes in the exceptions, but apart from that, he's pretty much.
You don't get to say you believe in the exceptions when you overturn Roe v. Wade, and because of that exact decision led by Donald Trump, you now have women like Kate Cox not being able to seek an abortion for a non-viable pregnancy in Texas.
I mean, Roe v. Wade was apparently trying to get overturned for years, and he finally did.
So let's better recognize this one more time.
But even
Donald
if
Trump
gets in,
hold on,
it's not
this is
gonna
the
get
same way.
reversed.
This is the
It's
same
not gonna
way.
get
Yes, it
reversed.
will. This is the same way how Donald Trump said. Listen very closely. This is the same way how Donald Trump said, "I'll protect IVF," but then his own decision to overturn Roe v. Wade has led to IVF being attacked in both Missouri and Alabama, where they're trying to outlaw it. But you're up here saying, well, Donald Trump, believes in exceptions. Donald Trump is the guy who prevented exceptions from being accepted, like Kate Cox, who couldn't get an abortion for her non-viable pregnancy, or Amber Thurman, who couldn't seek a rightful abortion for her pregnancy that inevitably took her life. She's no longer with us because of Donald Trump. So you can't say, well, Donald Trump believes in exceptions when you can't say he believes in exceptions. He took a woman's life. You understand this? His decision to overturn Roe v. Wade led to Amber Thurman losing her life. You understand that? It's in direct correlation.
Yeah, I get it. He should take the blame for it all.
Yes! Now you're getting it. Because when you're the sole person, when you are the individual who made the decision to overturn Roe v. Wade, you take credit for that. And he is taking credit for it, mind you. He has posted and said in interviews time and again, he said... Whoa, you just blamed Amber Thurman for Georgia's abortion ban that Donald Trump implemented?
Well, you just put the full blame on Trump.
Quiet, hold on,
so
take a
let's
second.
just put
Take
the
a
full
second.
blame on
No,
everybody.
yeah, quiet time. Let's recognize something, and you listen very closely, because this is some blatant bot farming ignorance you're doing here. Okay, I get the rage bait. It's what you MAGA Republicans do when you have nothing else to stand on. Desta, thank you for the $2. I love you right back. Let's better understand this. Donald Trump overturned Roe v. Wade. That was him. He nominated 3 Supreme Court justices with the mission of overturning Roe v. Wade. They said they weren't going to because Roe v. Wade was overwhelmingly popular among Americans. Turns out women in America want equal freedoms to men. Did you know that there's no mandate on a man's body, not a single policy against a man's body, regulating a man's body, only women? Oh, my wand. I'm just going to bippity boppity boop you out.
Did you hear that?
Shh, quiet time for you. Listen very closely. You just blamed Amber Thurman for losing her own life. Amber Thurman lost her life because Donald Trump's abortion ban took her life away. But you blamed her instead of Donald Trump. And that's your first issue. And that is not just a matter of you being pro-life. You're not pro-life. You have not a single pro-life stance. Not one. You don't even want to support the mother financially after she gives birth. That is not pro-life. I'm pro-life. You're not pro-life. You understand that? Okay, next, I want to make clear what you are. You are pro-forced birth, and you are dehumanizing women. You are using women as stats. You're saying, well, you know what? Amber Thurman lost her life, and that's on her. That's her fault. You are dehumanizing women. That's disgusting. So let me better understand this now. Why are you voting for the candidate who is so blatantly anti-freedom and who stripped away the right to choose? Go ahead. And why are you dehumanizing women?
I've told you why I'm voting for him. There's no dehumanizing going on whatsoever.
You said based off of values, and you don't share a single value with him. In fact, when I asked you where you stand on abortion, you gave a pro-choice response. You said you are pro-life, and Donald Trump is neither, but Kamala's both. Kamala believes in the right to choose, like you said you do, and Kamala has a pro-life policy that benefits a mother after she gives birth financially, which Donald Trump doesn't have. So wouldn't you be voting for Kamala? Because she shares your values. You said you were voting for Trump based off of values, and yet you don't share his values. So make it make sense.
Well, I tried to tell you I was going to vote Democrat, but they
You
didn't
are
give me the
not
option
going
to
to vote
vote for
Democrat.
Kamala.
Stop
She was-
playing. If I had a
she was
nickel for
pushed in.
every time you MAGA Republicans said you were going to vote for the Democrat, I would be a billionaire. All of you say you were going to vote Democrat. It's just a lie. George, thank you so much for the jellyfish.
How do you know?
Thank you.
How do you know it was a lie?
Because statistically speaking, if everybody I spoke to, and I keep track, you are also a digit on my survey, let me make very clear. And I'm a numbers guy, if my stats add up, it's statistically impossible that you and all of those people were Democrats, because Donald Trump would have no chance of winning. So again, help me understand, and this time try to stick to your gut without lying. Why are you voting for a felon, sexual abuser, and civil fraudster? You have an echo.
Well, you don't like.
Quiet. Rosetta, thank you so much for the $10. I appreciate the love on Cash App. Sorry about the cough, folks. My asthma's acting up. But I'm trying to go without my inhaler for a little bit. Sorry about the cough, folks. Okay, you have an echo. Get out of here. The second you said that Amber Thurman was responsible for her losing her life because Donald Trump overturned Roe v. Wade and that is her fault, this conversation was done. Hi, Cheryl. Are you voting for Donald Trump? I love inhalers. Let me tell you. Where's my asthma people at? Can we get some W asthma in the chat, please? Where's my asthmaniacs at? Where's my asthma? Where's my asthma folks? All right, sure. We're going to get up our next guest. Where's my asthma peeps? Let's get some W asthma in the chat, please. Here, we're all here. That's awesome. Hi, asthma friends. That's awesome. I got my inhaler. I just took my inhaler. That's what I just took. Hello, guest. Are you voting for Donald Trump?
Wait, can you hear me?
I wish I couldn't.
Dude, no way I joined this. All right. Yes, I'm voting Trump.
Oh, here, one sec. Do you still hear me all right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. I want you to hear this. Hold on. Can't get it. Fetus deletus. Poof! And he's gone. Let's get up our next guest. If you are voting for Donald Trump, join the guest request and let's have a conversation about it. If you are voting for Kamala Harris, please hit that like button. Help us get to 200,000 likes. A little fetus deletus spell. I could be wrong. Maybe he wasn't a fetus, but I'm pretty sure he was fetus. Miguel, hi.
How you doing? Yes, I am voting for Trump.
Okay, I didn't ask you yet. Can you calm down? That's like you saying, yes, I will marry you. I didn't get there yet. I didn't get there yet.
I love people like you. I love people like you.
Me too. Anyway, so why are you voting for the criminal? Chat, pick a spot.
So he's a criminal, yet he's a lot better than your candidate.
And that doesn't make any sense. He's quite literally, by definition, not better than my candidate.
I'm going to tell you.
I just said he's quite literally. Hold on.
Extra money.
Yeah, I thank you. I just said he's quite literally not better than my candidate because my candidate is a prosecutor who prosecutes felons like Donald Trump. My candidate was a district attorney, a attorney general leading the largest Department of Justice, second only to the U.S. Department of Justice. Can you listen?
Prosecuted nothing but black men.
Here's what we're going to do.
Thank you.
Quiet time for you. So let's recognize, first off, if you think Kamala Harris only prosecuted black men, you're deeply confused as how the criminal justice system works and what California's demographic looks like. That's on you. That's your uneducation, and that's on you. Now, I want to better understand something here. My candidate was a district attorney and attorney general who led the largest Department of Justice, second only to the U.S. Department of Justice, a senator, and a vice president. She's far more qualified than Donald Trump and by far the better candidate because she is the woman who prosecutes people like Donald Trump, who is a felon, who is a criminal. Now, again, I'm asking you, why are you voting for a criminal? And if you could own up to that, that would be great. So why are you voting for the criminal?
I want extra money in my paycheck. I want my overtime to stop being taxed. I want to be able to afford my rent, my food. Unlike you probably don't understand how to juggle your bills because you're probably being maintained by your parents or this little TikTok.
I'm 52.
I pay my own bills.
I'm 52 years old.
Yeah, that's funny.
So let me better understand this. Tell me one economic policy that Donald Trump wants to pass that'll benefit the middle class, and let's go from there.
He's not going to tax the overtime. That's literally what blue collar men live on.
He's not going to tax
overtime.
the overtime. Do you know the issue with that plan? So when Donald Trump says he's not going to tax overtime, that's fine and dandy. That will put pennies back in your pocket, especially in comparison to, I'm speaking, that will put pennies back into your pocket in comparison to the $3 trillion tax hike on the middle class and the additional $2,500 to $3,900 coming out of their pockets every single year. This is exactly what he did in 2017. This isn't new. Donald Trump gave a 1 to 2% tax cut for the middle class and then hiked up an $8 trillion deficit that us middle class Americans are paying off, and gave us a $230 billion tax hike via his 15 to 25% tariff on agriculture that caused an export surplus and supply on demand issue for farmers and small businesses, which inevitably hiked up costs at the grocery store for middle class consumers. So you're talking about, well, Donald Trump's going to throw pennies at me, fine and dandy, but he's going to take hundreds out of your pocket for his higher costs. Penn Wharton economists have gone through this. I understand that you don't know what they are, but they are people who are quite literally responsible for defining what this policy is going to look like and how it's going to affect you. You see, oh my God, I lost.
You seem to talk a
Chat.
lot
Oh, let's get some
of
W's
gibberish.
for the chat, please. Let's get some. Can you shut up for a second? Can you for a second? All right, not everything's about you. Quiet time. Not everything's about you. Chat. Good for you.
You people are
Chat. Let's
constantly
get some
doing the
W in
same
the
thing.
chat, please. Can you quiet for a second? Not everything's about you, Miguel.
This is the whole point.
Miguel, quiet time. Give us 5
Point of a
seconds.
chat.
5 seconds, Miguel. W's in the chat for the chat, please. W chat in the chat. Y'all won tic-tac-toe. Good job.
Yeah, you
All
people
right.
suck. Get a life.
Oh my
Learn how
God.
to pay your
Cry
own
harder.
bill.
Cry harder. Let me better understand.
Learn
I
how
want
to pay
to.
your
All
own
right,
bills.
stop crying.
Learn how to pay your own bills. Learn
You
how
done
to
crying?
pay your own bills. You're sitting here
You're
crying and begging
You're
for money on
crying.
Cash App.
Oh my gosh. Stop
You're
crying. I'm trying to talk to you about Donald Trump's policies and you're getting so triggered all because of a game of tic-tac-toe. You're violently unmuting yourself and you need to calm down.
talk.
I'm not letting you talk. No. No. Bad boy. No. No. We can go back and forth all day, cutie patootie. We're not doing this. Listen, Pookie,
All day.
what I want to ask
All
you
day.
is one policy that Donald Trump passed
All
that
day.
economically benefited the middle class. Can you tell us what that is, or do you not know what that is?
Yes, one,
Go ahead and name
policy
it.
is the you don't have
Name
to
it.
name it. It's the fact
Name
that
it.
we lived
You have to
better
name
when
it.
he was here.
That's not a
We
policy.
lived
That's
better.
not a policy.
We lived
Tell me
better.
one. You're not
You
engaging
people
in a
still
conversation.
no,
Do you want to
tell
get
the
kicked?
truth.
Do you want to get hocus
Say, I don't
pocus
care.
out?
I don't
Do you want to
care.
get
You're a
kicked?
clown. You're
All
a
right, here's what we're
clown.
going to do. I'm going to try one more time. I will kick you. This is your last time. I'm not
Faggot,
engaging in a...
bye.
Oh, cry more. Hocus pocus. Poof. Y'all... Hit me up in my Venmo, Cash App, or PayPal. Y'all just see me dealing with absolute psychopaths up here. Like, apparently I'm a therapist today who keeps getting hate crimes and yelled the F slur at. Like, what's going on? Where's the love? Where's the love? What's going on? What is going on? They're just coming up here to blatantly cry and scream and run away. They run up here, they say the F slur, and they go hee 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 and run away. Like, what is the... Corey, thank you so much for the $5 for my pain and suffering. Thank you, Corey. It's so crazy. And the MAGA Republicans play victim and they're like, Johnny's rude. Johnny's rude? Huh? Y'all just watched me get yelled at by some random crazy dude and then he runs away as he says the F slur. How is Johnny rude? It's because they're losing. They know that they're about to lose the race and that's why they're emotional. And I understand the psychology behind it. That's why they're emotional. But like, this is like a different kind of them getting triggered. Like, think about how fast he got triggered all because we were playing tic-tac-toe. Like, how do you get so triggered because of a game of tic-tac-toe? It's crazy. I could not imagine throwing the board game just because of a game of tic-tac-toe. Like, how crazy is that? Hi, are you voting for the criminal?
Yes, I am.
That's gross.
Why aren't you?
Because I'm reasonable, and so I don't make the decision to vote for criminals, felons, and sexual abusers. I make the decision to put them in prison. So let me better understand this. You have a guy named Donald Trump who's currently on sentencing, awaiting sentencing out on bail. Why are you voting for him?
Are you telling me that the Democrats are not criminals?
Other than Bob Menendez, seems like we're doing pretty good.
Answer the question.
I just did.
You telling me Biden,
I just answered. Did I stutter?
Biden and his
Did I
son are
stutter?
criminals?
Did I stutter?
Listen, I talk, you talk. Okay, don't
Yeah,
interrupt
and then
me.
you told me to answer your question when I just did.
Okay, sorry.
So either
you're telling
listen
me-
to the
are you telling me
answer-
Biden and his son aren't criminals?
Are you saying that they are?
Prove me wrong.
Hunter Biden is. Are you saying that Donald Trump is? Or are you saying that Joe Biden is?
And what is he? Is he?
All right, we're going to stick to this one more time. We're not going to do the whole talking over me. I'm done playing with y'all. Is Donald Trump a criminal? Yes or no?
Don't listen.
Is Donald Trump a criminal? Yes or no? Is Donald Trump a criminal? Yes or no? Stop deflecting. Stop deflecting. You're deflecting.
No, you're the one that's
pivoting.
deflecting.
You're deflecting.
Answer the question that I
You're
asked
pivoting and you're deflecting. One more time. Is Donald Trump a criminal? Answer the question.
No, I don't believe he is.
Okay,
Now,
so you suggest what? That he didn't commit a crime, or are you saying it's political persecution? Is it political persecution, or is it the fact that he is or isn't a criminal? Is he a criminal? You said no.
Don't you
so I'm
think that
asking you,
almost everybody in
did
the
he
government
commit a
criminal?
crime? Yes or no?
In your eyes, maybe.
Okay, so you think he had no wrongdoing here? You're saying that on every count, even though it's on 3 separate crimes that are all individually both significant, so we recognize the sexual abuse has nothing to do with the civil fraud, but he committed both sexual abuse and civil fraud. You're saying he committed neither.
Don't you?
Are you a judge?
Don't
Are you an attorney who oversaw the case? Were you a member of the jury?
You're gonna stop over?
No. Okay, so then your opinion's redundant. Your candidate is a criminal.
Hey, you talk.
Your candidate is a criminal. I'm trying to get an answer out of you, but you are having me find you on a wild goose chase so that you can better understand that your own candidate's a criminal. You didn't. You didn't answer my question. One more time. My question to you.
I said I don't believe
Maybe you forgot because you're having me explain this to you in detail as to why your candidate's a criminal. My question to you is, why are you voting for the criminal? You don't seem to be sundowning, which is why you don't understand your candidate's a criminal. And it's a little early to be sundowning, so I did you a favor by explaining it. If you don't want to accept the fact that your candidate is a criminal, as ruled by his own lawyers he hired, as ruled by a bipartisan unanimous jury his Republican lawyers appointed, then that's on you.
Let me ask you this: Why is he not?
Answer my
behind bars?
question.
Why is he not behind?
Answer
bars?
my question.
Why is he not behind?
He's out
bars?
on bail and awaiting sentencing.
Okay.
Answer my question.
Why isn't Hunter Biden?
You're gonna ask another question? Why do you get to ask 10 questions and I don't get to ask one?
Because
answer the question. Answer the question. I ain't even ask you about a statistic or a percentage yet. If you think that me asking you why are you voting for the felon is too tough for you to answer, then you might want to leave the live stream now, because I will be breaking down numbers and I will be asking for digits.
I think I will leave because
cry more. Go cry. Cry more. We'll get the cowbell and cheer you out. Do you want to do a boo-hoo as you cry away?
Why don't you go ahead and put?
So answer the question. Why are you voting for the felon?
Why don't you put some lipstick?
Why are you voting for the felon? Why are you voting for the felon? Why are you voting for the felon?
Why do you have a list?
Why are you voting for the felon?
Listen here, big boy.
Why are you voting for the felon? Can we get some baby bottles in the chat? Let's get some baby bottles in the chat. Why are you voting for the felon?
Why are you not?
Why are you voting for the felon?
Put some lipstick on.
Okay, guys, he doesn't know how to answer. He also, let's be clear. One, he doesn't know how to leave the live stream, so that's why he's sitting. Ooh, my wand fell again. Even my wand doesn't want to bop you out of here. This guest right here is crying because he can't answer a simple question. I said, why are you voting for the felon? And he won't answer. Because there is no answer as to why you're voting for the felon. No answer. And he doesn't know how to leave the live stream, so he's sitting here crying about it, trying to insult. There you go. Good boy. Let's get some baby bottles in the chat. What is going on with these emotional maggots today? What is happening? Let's try to get up the next guest. These MAGA Republicans are just beyond emotional. Oh my gosh. I'm like, why are you voting for the felon? He can't answer. I didn't even ask you about a stat or a percentage yet. I didn't even get there yet. Like if answering why you're voting for the felon is too hard, oh, you just wait. Hi, are you voting for the criminal?
Hell fucking no.
Let's get some W's in the chat for this guest. Thank you for coming up. Oh my gosh. Listen, folks, dealing with MAGA Republicans is a deeply, deeply stressful task. Let me tell you something. They are just, think of like talking, it's just blatant conspiracy theorists. Sybil, thank you so much for the $5 for democracy on Cash App. Thank you so much, Sybil, for the love. Hi, guest, are you voting for Donald Trump? Okay, 3, 2, and they ran away. I don't blame you. I don't blame you for running away. Let's try to get up our next guest. These MAGA Republicans are blatant broken records. You're right, DJ. Republicans are broken records. Tony, hi, are you voting for the criminal?
Hell no.
Thank you for coming up. Folks, if you're voting for Donald Trump, join the guest request. And let's try to have like an actual conversation here. If you are voting for Kamala, please leave the guest request right now. We do conversations with Kamala supporters as well, but that comes later in the live stream. Right now, we're only talking to Trump supporters. Hello, Michelle. Are you voting for Donald Trump?
Yes, I am. Can you hear me?
I wish I couldn't. So why are you voting for a criminal?
Why am I voting for a criminal? Actually, I think this criminal is better than Kamala.
Hey, at least you recognize he's a criminal. So why do you think the criminal is better than the prosecutor?
I'm just going by what you're saying. Okay.
So why do you think the criminal is better than the prosecutor? Because I'm pretty sure something you learn in like second grade is that, you know, maybe don't surround yourself by felons, but rather surround yourself by law enforcement and those who are there to protect you. But you're saying you're going to vote for the criminal because?
Because I said I think he's a better candidate than Kamala.
Okay, so obviously you think he's a better candidate than Kamala if you pick the criminal, right? So that was obvious to all of us that that's what you think. So now this time when I ask you why are you voting for the criminal, do you want to maybe put some response behind that blatant talking point?
Oh, like your talking points?
No, because I talk stats and facts. You're pivoting right now because you don't have a response. Don't cry. Don't run. You just came up here.
I'm not running.
So then again, I'm asking you. I'm asking you.
Why
are you crying? What is going on with all of you today? Ma'am, shut your mouth for a second. Oh my God. Stop talking for a minute.
What is
wrong with all of you? Listen very closely. I'm asking you to tell me why you're voting for Donald Trump. Why is it anytime I ask this question? I'm trying to. You're not doing it. Ma'am, stop crying. If you're not going to shut up, I'll shut you up. It's that easy. Okay? There's a mute button. I'll exercise it. Listen very closely. Anytime I ask you MAGA Republicans, why are you voting for Donald Trump? You all go off into a tangent, attacking me, crying, saying blah, 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 whatever conspiracy theory, yelling, and then you run away after you say the F slur. You're over here calling me the B word and stuff. Calm down. Calm down. Right? The fact that you guys can't answer this question, why are you voting for a criminal? Why are you voting for a felon? Why are you voting for Donald Trump? Speaks volumes to how weak of a candidate you have. Because I'm not even asking a tough question yet. If you ask me why I'm voting for Kamala, I can give you an answer. And I will, if you ask me that. But first, I want an answer to what I'm asking you. Why are you voting for Donald Trump? And don't just say, because I need a response.
Okay, can I answer?
Yes, that's what I've been asking you to do.
Okay. When Trump was president, I thought the economy was better. I feel like now that Kamala's been in office, everything is more expensive. I think that when Kamala ran in, I think it was 2019, 2020, she was a very poor candidate. Okay. I don't think she's a good candidate at all. I'm from California. Okay, so I know she's horrible, and I don't care that she's a prosecutor. That doesn't mean anything. And also,
it does when you're voting for a criminal.
Okay,
I want to stay on the economy, and I want to stay on things getting more expensive before we pivot to whatever else is going on with you.
Okay, and also, I don't like the fact that
all right, thank you for the pivot.
Can I answer the question?
No, thank you for the pivot. So the economy, you need to stay on that. This is how a conversation works.
Okay, listen.
Okay, so we got to stay on the economy.
Ma'am,
you know
what? You are
ma'am. Cry more. Cry more for me. You want to crash out more?
Crying.
Then stop screaming and stop crying and pay attention. If you're an adult, act like one.
You will not let anybody
are
talk.
not acting like an adult. Let's stay on the economy. This is insane. This is insane. Do you not recognize your behavior is completely inappropriate right now?
No, I'm recognizing that your behavior is inappropriate.
Take a step back. So again, the economy, this is what you mentioned, so we need to stick on this point. You also mentioned rising costs. What is the inflation rate today?
I don't know.
Okay, it's 2.4%.
What
was the inflation rate?
Got into office?
Correct. What was the inflation rate in 2018, middle of Donald Trump's term before the pandemic hit?
Okay, listen.
We're making a comparison. The inflation rate today is 2.4%. What is the inflation rate in 2018?
I do not know.
2.4%. So the inflation rate was identical between today and 2018.
Okay, so
if
why
you
are
think, let me get
groceries
this
much
right.
higher now?
Yes, I'm going to explain that if you'll permit me to do so. May I do so?
Okay, will you
May
let
I
me
do
answer
so?
a question?
May I do so? May I explain? Great. So 2.4% inflation rate today, which is identical to what it was in 2018. If costs are higher at the grocery store, chat, why might that be? If the inflation rate is the same, that means Biden-Harris's administration did their job and she ran away. These MAGA Republicans are so emotional. I'm glad that she recognized she was wrong, though, right? The moment she realized it was corporate greed, she ran away. Do we all recognize that? Like the moment she recognized it was corporate greed, she ran away. I'm glad that she recognizes what she was saying was dumb, but oh my goodness. And like, roaches for raid. It was giving roaches for raid, really. Oh, gosh. Folks, if you haven't already, hit that like button. Help us get to 300,000 likes. And if you are voting for Donald Trump, join the guest request. Chris, hi. Are you voting for Donald Trump? Chris.
Yes, I am. Yes.
Okay. Why?
Yes, can you hear me?
I wish I couldn't, but I guess I do. So why are you voting for Donald Trump?
I know a lot of people said this, but he's better
You're
than
talking
Kamala.
into a Nokia 1999. Your service is giving
and
that
I can
mobile.
back that up. Don't worry.
Okay. You're saying you can back that up, but I can't hear a single thing you're saying because you're talking into a Nokia 1999. You were talking probably in the middle of a meadow outside surrounded by chainsaws and nobody can hear a single word you're saying. So fix the MAGA mobile so that we could conversate.
No, I just got a speech impediment. I was shot in the head.
That's
in the
not what it
military.
was. No, that's not what it was. Your phone was breaking up.
Can you hear? Can you hear me now?
Nope,
Can you
we
hear
can't.
me now? Can you
Nope,
hear me
we're
now?
getting every few
Can you
words.
hear me now?
The fact you can't hear me telling you we can't hear you.
You can hear me.
Goodbye. The fact that he can't hear me telling him we can't hear you. I'm like, he's like, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? As I'm saying, nope. Okay, the fact you can't hear me saying that we can't hear you, obviously you have bad service. He's the guy I have a speech impediment. That has nothing to do with this. Hi, guest. Are you voting for Donald Trump?
Yeah, I am.
How old are you?
21.
Wow, you're a young voter coming up here saying that you're voting for Donald Trump, a criminal, sexual abuser, civil fraudster, and you think that that's a flex of some sort? So your mommy and daddy's ideology must have had a game to play in with this impact here. Were they Republicans?
We both agree with different point of views.
Yeah. So was mommy and daddy Republicans or Democrats?
Both.
Really? Which one was the Republican? Which one was the Democrat?
Mom and stepdad are Republican. Dad and stepmom are Democrat.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, at least you have one set of smart parents. So help me better understand this. Why are you voting for the criminal?
I'm voting for him because I don't agree with what Kamala has presented herself with, like her policies and anything she goes on to talk about.
At least she has policies, right? Donald Trump has concepts of plans, if you will.
She does. Though.
Let's start off with the border. What is Donald Trump's border policy?
He wants to close it. Why would we be letting people in freely?
What's your name?
It's on the thing.
Abs. Do I call you Abs? Abby. Abby, that's not a policy. So what's his policy? If you don't know, okay.
Policy name. You want to tell me?
Sure. So a policy would be, for example, during his first term, he had the Remain in Mexico Act. So I'm asking you, what is the policy he's running on right now to close the border? You're saying, well, he's going to close the border. That's not a policy. So you need a plan and a platform to do so. What is that plan and
platform? He cares more about closing the border and not letting anyone into this country.
That is
what I care about. I don't care.
That is a personal opinion. That's not a policy. But when you suggested, because I didn't bring up policy, you said that you couldn't hear or understand or comprehend Kamala Harris's policies because she has none, when we know very well that she has numerous policies. Before the pivot, I appreciate. I hear you. I get it. I know. You're saying that you don't understand what she's saying. You're saying you don't hear the policies coming out of her mouth. I disagree, but I don't care enough to harp on that. So I know what her policies are and you don't. What I'm asking you is about Donald Trump. What are his policies? And I asked for a border policy and you said you can't name it. So then whose policy do you actually, because you don't know his policy. You couldn't even tell me what the policy is. You didn't have to give a name. You didn't tell me what he wanted to do. So you don't know his policy, but you're saying you don't know her policy and that's why you're not voting for her. Hey, guess what? Reality check. You don't know his policies either.
I'm not voting for her.
Pay attention.
It's not so black
Pay
and white.
attention. You're saying that you don't want to vote for her. You said because she doesn't have policy. Fun fact,
That's
apparently
not the
Donald
only
Trump,
reason.
that is the only reason you said. So we can
But
move
you're
on to
not
the
letting
next
me
reason.
continue.
Ma'am, you're not letting me finish a sentence.
Go ahead.
May I? May I?
I already said yes.
Great. So let's recognize that Kamala Harris, you said that you don't know her policies, and this in part is why you won't vote for her. Okay, that's on you. I disagree. I know her policies very well, as does everybody in the chat. If you don't, that's fine, that's on you. But then, you suggested that you were voting for Donald Trump because you know his policies. I asked you for one policy, you couldn't name it. So
No, you're telling me what
I
I'm
am
saying.
not done speaking.
I'm not either.
Did I finish? No.
Did I? Like, you're
So let's
not
recognize
letting the debate
that you
happen.
are
You're
being
just
a
talking.
hypocrite because reality check, you don't know Donald Trump's policies either. So why are you actually
I never said
voting
that I
against
did. I'm not
Kamala
claiming
and
to
for
know
Donald
every
Trump?
single
You just
policy
interrupted me again. You're speaking over me and interrupting me. How rude are you? You just said I could finish speaking. What happened? You
You're a
forgot?
hypocrite.
You got that
You've been
Finding
talking over
Dory
people
attention
this
span?
entire
You got the
life.
Finding Dory attention span? Let's try this again. You're being a hypocrite. You recognize that you said you don't know Kamala's policies or Donald Trump's policies, but you use that as justification to vote for Donald Trump and against Kamala?
I'm not.
You're a
You are
hypocrite.
saying I am, but I am not. You're not letting
You're a
me
hypocrite.
talk. Okay.
Tell me one policy that Donald Trump wants to pass to secure the border. Go ahead.
I don't know the specific
Exactly.
policies. That's what
You
I
don't know
already
his
said.
policy.
I
You
already
just
told
said
you I
that you were
didn't
voting
know.
against Kamala because you didn't know her policy. Fun fact, you don't know Donald Trump's policies either.
Sir, I know. I already said that. I
So
said
you know
that I don't
nobody's
know the
policies.
specific policy names.
But you know
But I'm
nobody's
telling you from the
policies.
interviews I
You
have seen.
used voting against Kamala as justification by the means of not knowing her policy, but reality check, you don't know Donald Trump's either. Do you see the hypocrisy? Tell me that. Do you see the hypocrisy?
Sir, I'm not claiming to know both of them or neither
You
of them.
did. So do you now see the hypocrisy? Don't backpedal this.
I'm not backpedaling anything.
You said that part right there, the blatant trying to gaslight now, the trying to backpedal. Listen very closely. You just said.
You're a narcissist.
And let me finish.
though.
Listen closely. Listen real closely on this. Without
right,
the
ears
name
open.
calling, without the crying.
Ears open.
Okay. This time don't cut me off. I know it's hard for you, but try really hard. Okay? You said, in part, you were not going to vote for Kamala because she doesn't have policy. She does. You just don't know them. Then I said, okay, so you must know Donald Trump's policies. Tell me a policy he wants to pass to close the border. You said, I don't know. So then you're the problem because you don't know either of their policies and you're being a hypocrite because you won't vote for Kamala because you don't know her policies, but you'll vote for Trump even though you don't know his policies. That's hypocrisy at its finest. So now let's try this anew and let's restart. This time, try to speak coherently. Why are you voting for a felon? Let's go from there.
I am voting for Trump because from the interviews I have seen and from what I have heard Kamala talk about, there is nothing that she says that is convincing me that she is better for this country than him.
That's on you. Do better. Do more research. You just said you don't know either of their policies. You know none of their policies, but you're saying
I
that
got
you don't
people calling
know
me racist
what she's
in the
going to
chat
do
when
to
I
make
literally-
this
I have a
country
black
better. How does
person.
that make any sense?
Who called you racist?
Think about that.
Nigga, I'm literally black, but okay.
Okay. You need a tag team here? You need
I'm just
backup?
getting people calling me racist. Which
So
is
the
not-
hypocrisy is beyond belief.
No, it's
Let's
not.
recognize something.
I
And
know
also,
what you're-
look no further than Donald Trump, right? You're saying,
not
oh,
black.
you're saying I can't be racist because of this. Oh, okay.
I'm
And
not
you know what?
racist.
Let's think about that. Donald Trump is married to what was an illegal immigrant. But, oh yeah, he can't be racist whatsoever, and he can't try to run around kicking illegal immigrants out of the country. He'll only marry them. Let's not play that game, okay? It's not helping you. So tell me again, why are you voting for a felon? Why are you voting for a felon? Why are you voting for a felon? Go from there.
Because he's going to stop the criminals from coming into this country, the ones that she's allowing to happen. There's been billions of illegal
There are
people
less border
letting
crossings
come in,
today.
300,000.
There are less border crossings today than there were under
there's
Donald
not.
Trump. Go give me
Have
a
you
fact
seen
check on that.
footage?
Go give me a fact check. Have I seen
I'm not gonna
footage?
go pause this.
I'm sorry. Have I seen footage? That's
Yes,
what you just
people
said.
going down
Have
to
I
the
seen
border,
footage of there being?
interviewing-
Hold on. There are less border crossings today than there were under Donald Trump. That is a statistic. You're not going to get footage of a statistic. Okay, so why don't you hold Donald Trump accountable for blocking the bipartisan border bill that would have made this conversation about the border redundant, would have secured the border in its entirety? Oh, right, because you're a hypocrite. Tell me, do you want to build the wall? We're going to go down Donald Trump's policy. You tell me what you do and don't support. Do you want to build the wall that he wants to build?
If they're going to stop immigration?
Yeah, if it'll stop
Do you want the 2,000 border agents? Donald Trump wants to pay for 2,000 border salaries so that he can put those agents to monitor the border. Do you want him to do that? You want to pay for those salaries? You want those jobs?
You're getting killed and shit.
Yeah, not necessarily, I guess.
I'm sorry, do you speak independently here?
I'm trying to listen to what you're saying and come
Right,
up
but
with a
then I
response.
hear your boyfriend in the background giving an answer and you're saying, yeah, whatever he
Because we're
says.
chatting.
So if I'm going to talk to him, you might as well put him on the phone. I don't need you as the middleman.
He's right next to me. This is both of us.
So again, if I'm going to talk to you, I'll talk to you. If I'm going to talk through you to him, you might as well just leave the
Repeat the
conversation and put him
question.
on the phone. I don't need a ventriloquist. Okay? So do
Repeat,
you want the
repeat.
2,000 border agents to monitor the wall, or do you want to just leave the wall there? I want to leave the wall there. You want the
Yeah,
agents?
they can monitor the wall.
You want to pay for those salaries, yeah? Okay. Do you want to block illegal immigrants from seeking asylum?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to funnel millions of dollars into border states for border security? Donald Trump calls it states' rights.
Sure.
And last one, and then we'll talk about Kamala's policy. Do you want to put a limit on immigration? Cap it.
Cap it?
Yep.
Do you want to talk more about that? What is
Donald Trump says if you have a water bottle, at some point it overfills with water and you put a cap on it before it overfills. He's going to do the same thing with immigration.
I think that that's fair. I think that there's a certain point where there are too many people just being let into this country that we should focus on the people
Great.
that are.
You want to talk about
illegally.
Kamala's? I don't need the whole coming of age. Do you want to talk about Kamala's policy now?
Go ahead, yeah.
That was it. You just endorsed Kamala Harris's border bill. That's on our website.
Sir,
You didn't know that because you don't know their policy.
Both parties,
You
and
just
I want
endorsed.
to know about both.
Thank you very
Can
much.
explain her
You just
policy?
endorsed Kamala Harris's border policy. So now say, my name is Abs. Here, you could even do the whole. Here. You could even do the whole Mickey Mouse wand thing, where you're like, my name's Miley, and you're watching Hannah Montana, and then do the Mickey Mouse thing with the wand. Here's the wand.
Do you have
say,
respect for
say,
people that don't agree with you?
No. So say, my name is Abs,
that's a you
and I
problem.
just.
Have an
You're not.
open
You're
mind,
pivoting.
dude.
You're pivoting. Say, my name is Abs, and I just
You're
endorsed
pivoting.
Kamala's
You're
border
talking about
policy.
magic wands.
Go
What
ahead.
the
Yeah,
fuck are
go
you
ahead.
talking
Here's the
about?
wand. Do the thing. Go on. My name is Abs, and I just endorsed Kamala Harris's border policy. Go on. Do the thing. Go on. Do the thing. No? So you're a hypocrite. This was
You're
your
a comedian,
third blatant
bruh.
hypocrisy. Am I supposed to continue playing with you? Like, what do you want here, dude? You literally just endorsed Kamala Harris's border bill, the policy that's on her very website, because that's how uneducated you are when it comes to policy, and you're still unwilling to say, oh, you know what, I'll
I'm
own
not
up to
saying
that.
I'm educated on policy, but from
You're not
person to person,
educated,
I don't
period.
like Kamala for who she is. She's lied about so
Ma'am,
much
you
shit.
just
Do you
endorsed
watch Candace
Kamala
Owens?
Harris's border policy.
Do you watch Candace Owens?
Okay. Candace Owens, you just mentioned that. You mentioned Candace Owens' names. You might as well just mention Charlie Kirk.
She actually speaks facts.
Did
Go
you
look at her
watch
page.
Charlie
You know when
Kirk?
she found out
Do
about
you watch
Kamala
Charlie
lately?
Kirk? Really?
I don't watch Charlie Kirk. Do you know what
Right,
Candace has
because
said and
Candace
found out
Owens,
about
Charlie
Kamala?
Kirk, Laura Loomer, they don't know anything.
Kamala has lied about her entire heritage. You know that
Ma'am.
she's actually Indian. Her grandmother in her
We
book is
know
not
that
even
she is
her
Indian.
grandma.
Ma'am.
Her grandma Beryl is not even her grandma Beryl.
Ma'am. Again, we know she's Indian. This isn't new. Where have you been? Now let's take a step back. What I need you to do is admit
then
that
why
you're a
is she lying?
hypocrite
Why
without the
she claiming
pivot.
to
She
be
didn't
only-
lie. She didn't lie on anything. She's a black woman. And you're saying she's not black.
You just said
she's
she
a
was
black
Indian.
woman. Oh, I'm sorry. You can't be Jamaican, and
Oh, you can be both,
and
but you
black.
can also flip who
you
you
can't be
decide to
Indian and Jamaican
fully-
and black. Oh gosh, yeah. Hold on. I'm white, but I'm also Italian. Whoa!
Yeah, so you can say you want to identify as depending on who you're talking to.
Whoa!
It's
Wait,
what
let's
she
think about
fucking
that.
does.
Let's think about that. I'm Italian, but I'm also white. Crazy. One more time. Here's what I want you to do. Help me better understand this. Help me better understand this. Abs. I hear your boyfriend talking, and he keeps talking through you with the hand up your back like a ventriloquist.
He's talking to me.
Right. Then you might as well put him on the phone. If he's talking to you and you're talking to me, put him on the phone because I'll just talk to him. I don't need the ventriloquist. I'm not supposed to be
with anyone else right now. What the fuck? Like,
be independent.
I didn't know I had to be in a room by myself.
Be independent and talk to me, or you might as well put him on the phone.
This is my voice.
You just said he's talking through you. So again, if I'm going to talk to him,
to me,
but you're just repeating what he says. You're just repeating what he says.
Like words coming out of my mouth.
Abs. What I want to hear you talk about is the fact you are a hypocrite. You just endorsed Kamala's border bill. You just endorsed Kamala Harris's border bill, and now you won't admit it. And every single time you speak, it is from your boyfriend's mouth. If I'm going to talk to him, then I don't need to talk to you. This is like a show company. I don't need this.
How did I endorse Kamala?
You just endorsed her border policy step by step.
How? I'm asking how.
I went through every policy point and you said you endorse it.
I did not say those words.
You did. You just said you support those policy points.
Oh, you're delusional.
Chat, did she not just say this? Okay, she's gone. Fetus deletus. You're a blatant liar. All right, chat, she just endorsed Kamala's border policy step by step, and now she's saying she never did that. Ma'am, Abs, you know this is videotaped, right? You know this is on video, just so you know, in case you forgot. And what you just did is going to make a great video later, so thank you very much. On the count of 3, everybody, hocus pocus. 3, 2, 1. Hocus pocus. Poof, and she's gone. Folks, if you like what you're hearing today and you like watching these MAGA Republicans get owned, then feel free to support me. My Venmo, PayPal, Cash App are in my bio, or hit that follow button in the top left corner and join our little family. Would love to have you here. I think that's absolutely crazy that she endorsed Kamala Harris's border policy and then tried to lie, saying, I never did that. You just did it. She was just a blatant hypocrite who was like trying to gaslight the entire time. It's insane.
Is this only for Trump supporters?
Yeah, right now. We're doing Kamala supporters later, though, if you're going to be around.
Okay, well, I'll come back.
Thanks for coming up. All right, folks, let's get up our next guest. Why are MAGA Republicans so uneducated? Like, do we understand she just endorsed Kamala Harris? Can we get some W-abs in the chat, actually? Let's get some W-abs in the chat for endorsing Kamala Harris. Thank you, Abs, for endorsing Kamala. W-abs in the chat. Thank you, Abs. Thank you for endorsing Kamala's border bill, and thank you for that video, because that's going to make great content later for me. Emily, hi. Are you voting for Donald Trump?
No, I accidentally joined. I was supposed to join later. You guys were talking about Kamala.
Oh, you're good. You're good. We'll get you back up later. Let's get up our next guest. W abs, honestly. W for the ignorance.
Oh my gosh, hi.
Oh my gosh, fetus deletus. Bum, bum, bum.
Oh, sorry. I thought you went as a joke. Sorry.
You're good. Have a good one. Let's get up our next guest. Oh my gosh. Kimberly, that is so nice. Thank you so much for the $25 on PayPal. Thank you so much, Kimberly. That is so nice. Thank you. Thank you for the love. Hello, guest. Are you voting for Donald Trump?
You hear me?
Depends. Are you voting for Donald Trump?
Oh, yeah.
What are you talking through right now? It's giving like that voice from Scream. Like, you know where you call and you're like, hey, you want to play a game or whatever that thing does?
Nah, I said, fuck them up.
I have no idea what you're talking through right now. I got no idea what you're saying. I'm just going to let you go and move on. I'm not ready to be part of a horror movie. I prefer comedic movies, comedies. Comedies are great. But it sounds like you're that guy calling from Scream, and I'm just not into it. Hello, guest. Are you voting for the criminal?
I initially was going to, but after listening to your live, you just saved me from making the biggest mistake of my life. So I appreciate you, man. I'm not gonna lie. This is gonna be my first selection I'm ever going to participate in, and I was voting based off just straight ignorance. So just listening to you for like the past 30 minutes or an hour, I got a lot of work I need to do. And so just learning on policies and whatnot. So I appreciate you.
Well, first off, I want to say thank you so much for having the courage to come up here and say that, especially in front of so many people. And I also want to preface this with, I voted for Democrats and I voted for Republicans myself. And I know that the MAGA Republicans see me in the gear. And so they're like, he's a far lefty progressive blah. I'm like, I'm not. I'm a moderate. But like, I feel like we can meet in common sense again. And I look forward to being able to run against normal Republicans again. Like, hey, in 4 years, if y'all put up Nikki Haley, we can have an actual battle here and it'll be fun. Till then, we got to stop whatever this loon. So thank you for making the right choice. And thank you for getting more educated on it. I appreciate it.
Nah, thank you, man. Thank you. I'll be listening and following going forward.
Have a good one, man. Thank you. Have a great weekend. Too. That's awesome. Can we get like 1,000 W's in the chat, please? Like, I want to see 1,000 W's in the chat because that was beyond inspirational. I think that was that should give a lot of people hope. That should give so many people hope. Brandy, hi. Are you voting for Donald Trump?
No, sir. I am definitely voting for Kamala.
That's awesome. We're going to be talking to some more Kamala supporters later, so I do hope you come up then, okay?
Okay.
Also, Brandy had gorgeous eyes. Like, the little profile photo, y'all know how it's like a little profile photo because it's shrunk down. I could see Brandy's eyes from here. Stunning eyes, Brandy. Oh my gosh. Like, they were like piercing, gorgeous eyes. Like, the little profile photo, I'm like... Stunning. Hello, guest. Are you voting for Donald Trump?
You have low testosterone. Shut your mouth, you degenerate.
Oh my gosh, you're right. Oh, no. I can't wait. What I'm going to do here is go buy a bucket of tea from Amazon and I'm going to throw it in the Boston Harbor and on a view and that British accent you got going on. The next time a European wants to try to tell me what my politics should be, I'm going to throw a bucket of tea in the ocean every time. Who's down for a Boston Tea Party? Y'all down for a Boston Tea Party? Who wants to do it? Y'all want to go do a Boston Tea Party? I'm down. Who wants to do a Boston Tea Party? Y'all ready? I think it's time we remind them who's boss. Yeah? Sounds like we got a lot of people down. Let's go get our tea. We got the English Earl Grey tea. Let's go. All right, let's get up our next guest. I love when somebody from like Britain comes up and they're like, you should not be voting for Kamala Harris because you have no testosterone. And I'm like, as I'm literally picking up a box of tea and throwing it in the ocean as they say it. Hi, Karen. How you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
Are you voting for Donald Trump?
I wasn't going to vote, period, but listening to you today, it has brought me to the point where I'll vote for Kamala. So I just want to thank you for the information I got. I was so ignorant and silly, but thank you very much.
Thank you so much for coming up and saying so. Can we please get some W's for Karen in the chat? Thank you so much, Karen, for coming up. I think in part these conversations are almost always very educational, but today especially, the MAGA Republicans have really been showing their blatant ignorance when they run around saying the N-word, the F-slur. They run around just screaming the entire time, not trying to have a productive conversation or stand on their policy or platform, and they're just screaming the entire time and then being a hypocrite through and through. Like that one girl who came up before who endorsed Kamala's policy and then wouldn't own up to it and try to gaslight the chat. This is what happens when you try to trick voters. These people are trying to trick voters and it's not working. Voters like Karen, who are listening in, who see that all the MAGA Republicans stand on is intolerance and aggression. That's not how you win an election. That's not how you win voters. That's how you upset people. That's how you anger people. That's how you get them motivated to vote for the other side. And so, Karen, thank you so much for coming up. Leo, hi. Are you voting for Donald Trump?
Yes, sir.
Fetus deletus. Poof. Thank you so much, Dylan. Dylan, thank you so much for the $50 on PayPal. That is beyond kind. Thank you so much for the love, Dylan. I appreciate that so much. Folks, I want to be clear as well. Any of those funds, like if you folks support me, and I appreciate that when you do it on Venmo, PayPal, Cash App, I want to be clear what I use those funds for. I travel the state. Before I even did live streams, I travel the swing state of Pennsylvania and I meet voters, both in person, online as well. But I do a lot of travel from Erie to Philadelphia, to the Poconos, to Greene County in the bottom left corner, toward West Virginia. And I meet voters and I get them out to vote. And that is what I use it on. I typically travel around and that goes towards my travel. So thank you so much for the love and support, folks. I greatly appreciate it. Let's try to get up our next guest. Boom, 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 boom. Hello, guest. Jay, are you voting for Donald Trump? Okay, goodbye. Next, thank you. Next, I'm so grateful for my ex.
Hello.
I wasn't done. I was singing. I'm so full for my ex. Anyway, so why are you voting for the criminal?
Because Kamala hasn't done anything in the past 4 years.
That literally does not make any sense. Did you forget about the Inflation Reduction Act, the CHIPS and Science Act, the Infrastructure Package, the Respect for Marriage Act, the American Rescue Plan? Where were you? Did you forget something? Did you forget about how she made the inflation rate drop back down to pre-pandemic levels, being 2.4%, which is exactly what it was when Donald Trump was president in 2018? Did you forget about the PACT Act? Really? So what is Donald Trump running on? What's his policy points here? You tell me a little bit about more your candidate instead of showing me the ignorance behind you not understanding what my candidate has done or stands for. Why are you voting for the felon?
Because I feel like he'll secure the border. I'm sorry.
What is his border bill? Wow. Okay. What does he want to do to secure the border? Do you know any of his policies?
I do not.
Oh my gosh, then why would you feel he would do better to secure the border if you don't even know what he's running on? Okay, if I tell you Donald Trump's border bill, will you tell me what you do and don't support in an honest way?
Okay.
Do you want to build the wall? It's a yes or no.
I personally don't think we should. But.
Okay, so you don't want to build the wall. Do you want 2,000 border agents to monitor the border?
Sure.
Do you want to block illegal immigrants from seeking asylum?
Sure.
Do you want to put a limit on immigration? Donald Trump says if you have a water bottle and it overfills, you need to put a cap on it before it flows over the top. So that's what he's going to do. Do you want to do that?
Not really.
Okay. And do you want to give border states millions of dollars to secure the border how they see fit?
No.
Okay, so let's get this right. You don't want to give border states money. You don't want to put a cap on immigration. And you don't want to build the wall. But you want to secure the border? Okay, but you do agree with Kamala's 2,000 border agents, and you do agree with Kamala's stance on blocking illegal asylum seekers. So help me better understand this. How are you going to secure the border if you don't want to implement a policy to secure the border? Help me better understand this. Help me better understand that. And pick up the energy here, because this is getting boring. Oh, and he ran away. So he endorsed half of Kamala's policy and then couldn't tell me how he was going to secure the border if he doesn't want to implement a policy to secure the border. Can we get some L guests in the chat? That's sad. Take the phone out of your mouth. You don't got to eat the phone. Are you voting for Donald Trump?
Kamala fucking sucks.
Oh my gosh, the emotion. You know, believe it or not, MAGA men are far more emotional than MAGA women. Okay, but then they run around saying how emotional women are. MAGA men are like, women are so emotional, I can't vote for a woman. But then at the same time, they're far more emotional than MAGA women. It's insane. Hello, guest. Are you voting for Donald Trump?
Yep.
That's gross.
So why was Democrats against the wall, but now all of a sudden they want to take that idea and act like it's a Democratic policy?
That doesn't make sense. George Bush introduced the wall, and Barack Obama. And
No.
Right, I'm trying to explain. I'm trying to hold on, quiet. You're not going to cut me off because you don't like what I'm about to say. Oh, you made my dog mad. So, Bush introduced the wall, not Donald Trump. This might be news to you. Bush introduced the wall. George Bush, you remember him? Okay. Barack Obama built 400 miles of the wall. Donald Trump built an additional 50. 400 built under Obama, Donald Trump built 50. So by your logic, actually, the Democrats supported the wall. Why did Donald Trump take it from a Democrat? Bush introduced it. Obama built it. Donald Trump built 50 miles. Unmute. Now, same question to you. Why did Donald Trump steal the wall from a Democrat, that being Barack Obama?
No, why did he get negative publicity when he wanted to do it? And now all of a sudden,
you're not paying attention. You just said that Democrats took it from Republicans, but Republicans took it from Democrats. The same way when you look at no tax on tips, how Donald Trump took that from Bernie Sanders, a Democratic socialist, But you're going to run around saying that's a new policy that a Republican just introduced. You guys can't gaslight America like this. Barack Obama built 400 miles of the wall.
I didn't say
Donald
it was.
Trump liked it and then took it from Obama. You just said the Democrats took
No,
it from Trump.
I didn't say it
Trump
was his
took it from
idea. I said
Democrats.
when he wanted to do
You
it,
did.
he got negative publicity.
No, that's what
but
you're
now
saying
it's getting
now.
great
That's what you're
publicity.
saying now. Guest is wrong. Guest is wrong here. You just said, without the pivot, you just said
Well, let's
that
pivot.
Democrats
Let's pivot.
took it.
Why
No.
did he get negative publicity, but
We're
now
not
it's getting
pivoting.
great
We're
publicity?
not pivoting.
You can't
We're not
answer that
doing it.
question.
I will.
You've never answered
You're
that
not-
single question.
You want me to pivot. You're forcing
No.
me to pivot.
No.
You're telling me I'm not going to answer.
That was the original question. Why is
That wasn't the question. You said, why are Democrats taking the wall from Donald Trump and running on it when they never wanted to do it to begin with? That's what you said word for word. I said that's not true. Democrats introduced it with George Bush, and Barack Obama built 400 miles of the wall. Donald Trump took it from the Democrats and built 50 miles. So same question to you. Why did Donald Trump take the wall from the Democrats? But now you don't want to answer.
No,
Now you're
I'm
pivoting.
just saying I'm not giving Kamala negative light for that.
See, this
but
is
everybody
insane.
got negative light.
Did you hear what I said? Because you won't. Do you please recognize
No,
what I said?
you just don't want to answer my question.
You're not recognizing what I said. I just answered your question.
No, you didn't.
And you're not recognizing it.
Why did Donald
Do I
Trump
need to
get
repeat
negative
it
light?
again? No. Know this.
Why did Donald Trump get negative
Know
light? Answer
this.
that and I'll
Know
answer that
this.
and I'll answer your question.
Know
Just
this.
answer that and I'll answer your
I will
question.
not be pivoting until you answer my question. I answered yours.
Okay.
Now you answer mine. You said that Democrats took the wall from Trump, but Trump actually took it from Barack Obama, who built 400 miles on the wall. So why did Donald Trump do exactly what you said Democrats were doing, and why won't you hold Donald Trump accountable for that? You're being a blatant hypocrite.
No, I don't care whose idea it was. I want the wall
Oh,
built.
now you
so-
don't care whose idea it was. You just said it was Donald Trump's idea and Democrats stole it. Now that you know it was
No,
Democrats'
the question
idea
was,
and Republicans
when
stole
Donald
it,
Trump
you don't know how to
proposed
own
it-
up to that.
No,
What
I
is
just
this
answered your-
hypocrisy? Hold
No,
on.
I just
Let's get some hypocrite in the chat, please. Let's get some L hypocrite in the chat. This is insane. He's doing exactly what he just tried criticizing Democrats for, and now that he knows he's doing it, he is changing the narrative and saying, well, that's fine. That's okay. Like... He's like, that's fine, that's okay, you know. Like, yeah, no, he's like, I don't care about it anymore because you're doing it. So unmute, tell me again. Why did Donald Trump steal the wall from Democrats? Guys,
wall's a
stop
good
or you're going to Springfield.
The wall's
Okay,
a good
answer the
idea.
question.
Are you going to answer my question of why it was negative light on Donald Trump and it's always positive light for Democrats?
That doesn't make any sense.
I've
That's
answered your
personal
question.
opinion.
I've
That's
answered your
personal
question.
opinion.
Now answer
It's your
mine.
personal opinion.
I've answered
It's
your question.
personal
Now
opinion.
answer mine.
It's your personal opinion.
No,
That's your
everybody
answer.
called it unconstitutional.
No, that's your personal opinion.
Everybody
I never
called
said
it
that.
unconstitutional.
Did I say that?
No, it was labeled
so it's
by
not
the media.
everybody. So this
No,
is your
it was
personal
labeled by the
opinion.
media.
This
It
is your
was labeled
personal
by the
opinion.
media.
This is
Answer
your
my
personal
question.
opinion.
Answer my
I just
question.
did. This is
I
your
answered your
personal
question. You
opinion.
answer mine.
I
You're
just
being a
did. This is your
hypocrite. You're
personal
being a
opinion.
hypocrite. You're being a
No,
hypocrite.
that's not
You're
what
being a hypocrite.
hypocrisy means. Calm down. That's not what hypocrisy means.
All right, can I ask you another question about the wall?
No, because I just answered your question. So now it's my turn. This is
You didn't answer my question. All you said is
I just said it's your personal opinion. I never said it was unconstitutional. You just said that people did. I don't know who you're talking about, and I don't care who you're talking about because that's not me. That's not anybody in this chat. That's you. Again, Democrats supported the wall. They built 400 miles on it. Donald Trump only built 50.
Then why'd they
But
try
you're
and stop
saying-
Donald Trump the entire presidency?
I appreciate.
Why did they try and
I am
stop?
speaking, and
wow,
maybe you're
good
missing
Kamala
that.
impression. Are you
Maybe
gonna
I'm
do an
being
accent
too
as well?
quiet for you. So
Good
let me do
Kamala
this a little bit louder. Tell me, why are you voting for a criminal, sexual abuser, fraudster? And this time, don't mention Kamala's name. Good the fuck luck.
Okay, so if he wasn't convicted, are we?
He was convicted. So tell me, why are you voting for the criminal?
What was he convicted of?
You know very well the 34 felony counts surrounding falsifying business records, checks, and statements, the liability of sexual abuse, and being found liable of civil fraud. Why are you voting for that?
I'm not voting for that.
Why are you voting for that? You're
Why
voting
are
for
you
Trump?
voting?
You're voting for that. Don't pivot. Don't ask me a goddamn question until you answer mine. This is your last warning, or else you get bippity boppity booped out of here. You understand me? Answer
what
the
is the
question. Why
question?
are you voting for that?
So what was he convicted of?
You have 3 seconds to respond. 3.
What was he convicted of?
2. 1. Last time I'm going to ask you, and then you're out. You understand me? Do you understand me?
Bro, you're
Do you
not right. You
understand
think you're
me?
cooking. You
One
think
more
you're cooking.
time. Listen.
Yelling doesn't.
Baby Pookie, this is cooking. You're just crying and refusing to answer. I haven't even asked you a question about stats or percentages yet. If you think this is a hard question for you to answer, you just wait. You just wait, Pookie. Why are you voting for somebody who was found liable of sexual abuse? Why are you voting for somebody who was found liable of civil fraud, $488 million? Why are you voting for somebody who was found guilty on 34 felony counts of falsifying business records, checks, and statements? Go ahead. Can you speak on that?
All right, so why are you voting for a candidate who enables
And
sex
he can't.
trafficking?
We're done. Let's get him out.
Yep.
Literally the pivot. And the lie. He pivoted and then lied. Listen, the fact he couldn't answer that simple question, why are you voting for the criminal? Like, how am I supposed to entertain you? You know what I'm saying? Like, do we understand that he couldn't answer that simple question? I'm like, why are you voting for Donald Trump? He refuses to answer that question. Where am I supposed to go from there? I can't ask you about policy. You obviously don't know any. Can't ask you about a stat. You don't know any. Hello, guest. Are you voting for Donald Trump? And ran away. Can we get some L guests in the chat, by the way? Can we get some L guests in the chat? That was wild. Like, that was really insane. That was wild. Oh, you have an echo. Like, that was really insane. That was wild. MAGA Republicans are fun because they hate America. And so it's very easy to trigger them, because if you just mention anything about America, like if you're like, why are you voting for a criminal who tried to defraud Americans, who tried to incite an insurrection at our Capitol, they immediately get emotional. You have an echo. They immediately get emotional, and it's all because they are coming to terms with their own hate for America, right? It's like they put the flag in their bio because they love America, but then they're voting for the guy who exploited the graves of soldiers at Arlington National Cemetery, who broke flag code by signing Chapter 4, Title 1 of the U.S. flag. And then they're like conflicted. It's like a coming of age for them. Hi, Brielle. Are you voting for Donald Trump? 3,
Yes.
2. How old are you? Ran away. Okay, fetus deletus. What is going on? If you're voting for Donald Trump, get into the guest requests. And let me make this clear. So hopefully it's crystal clear for everybody. If you are, okay, thanks for the cough. Hold on a second. If you are voting for Donald Trump and you are in my comment section being a keyboard warrior and saying it, I'm going to censor you because I think censorship is fun. And your freedom of speech doesn't apply here. See, I said it before you MAGA Republicans said it. I know, you're all grasping your pearls because I said it. If you're a MAGA Republican in my comment section, you will be booted out of here faster than Donald Trump's butt is going to get booted into a prison cell after his sentencing in November. Join the guest requests and use your voice to speak up, or don't say anything at all. It's that easy. If you want to comment it with your keyboard, you're going to get booted out. If you want to get into my guest request, we could have a face-to-face conversation. Welcome to life. Pat, unmute. Pat, why are you voting for a criminal?
Because it makes the economy better.
Tell me one economic policy he passed that benefited the middle class. And you couldn't. Ran away. Oh my gosh. What is going on with these MAGA Republicans? I say, tell me a policy. And he was like, ah! And then ran away. Collins, hello.
What up?
You voting for Donald Trump?
I sure am.
How old are you?
I am not verifying that.
Okay. Fetus deletus. Folks, if you haven't already, please do share the live, hit the like button, help us get to 500,000 likes. Let's get up our next guest. If you are voting for Donald Trump, like I said, you're going to join the guest request or you're going to get out of the live stream. It's that simple. Welcome to life. Hello, guest. Are you voting for Donald Trump? Oh my gosh, they're all just running away. What is going on? What is going on? Why are they all running? Like, why are y'all running away? Watch, how much you want to bet this one runs away? Are you driving?
No.
Are you voting for Donald Trump? Do you want to fix the background noise? Okay. Listen, the whole texting and driving, guys, like MAGA Republicans, I know you're voting for a felon. You don't need to commit a felony. See, like this right here? What is going on with the emotions here? MAGA Republicans, you don't need to text and drive, right? It's so simple. It's so simple not to text and drive. Just because you're voting for a felon doesn't mean you have to commit a felony. Jason, hi. Are you voting for Donald Trump?
Hell yeah.
Okay. Are you driving?
Nope.
What's with the background noise?
I don't know. I guess it's where I'm working.
Okay. Well, then fix it. You have 5 seconds to fix it. We're moving on. 5. Nope. 4.
Is that even better?
Nope. 3.
Oh, fuck
2.
off.
1. Okay, go cry more, but cry in your car alone. Let's move on. I don't know why they're so angry. Like, hi guys, are you voting for Donald Trump?
Yes.
Ew.
Can you hear me?
Wish I couldn't.
Okay.
So why are you voting for Donald Trump?
Well, the main reason right now is the border.
Tell me what's his border policy.
Well, his border policy is that if you come over here illegal, he's going to ship your ass back. That's the border policy.
That's not policy. That's called deportation.
It's like this.
That's called deportation. That's called deportation. That is, you're not listening. 1, 2, 3. Eyes on me. Okay, that's called deportation. That's not new. You understand that?
Yeah,
deportation has been underway for decades.
The new thing is that hadn't been done for decades is nobody's done anything about it.
What is Donald Trump's border policy? And please don't say deportation. That doesn't make sense.
Listen here, you prick. I don't know the policy for word.
Hey, I have a question for you.
Okay.
Why do you MAGA Republicans, anytime you get asked a question regarding a stat, fact, or policy, immediately start going into name calling? Is it because your lack of intelligence wasn't tested? Or help me better understand. Help me better understand.
You know how you go, you won't let a motherfucker talk.
That's why we cuss.
Call your names.
I ask you a question, you cry because you don't know an answer. So let me try it again. Do you know what Donald Trump's border policy is? Cry more.
I don't know what.
Cry
I don't
more.
know what.
If you keep crying, can you do so by crying into this cup so I could drink the tears? Okay, listen. What I need you to do.
Listen. Just told you, I do not know the policy word for word. You tell me.
So then, if I tell you the policy, will you tell me what you do and don't support?
That's what I
get
just
some baby
asked
bottles in the chat.
Yeah, go ahead.
Uncle Daddy, chill out. I don't care if you and your sister mama are fighting this morning, but you gotta calm down. You ain't gonna take it out on me, okay? Sweet home Alabama, this is nuts. It's giving Toll Mater.
Listen.
All right, Toll Mater. So you tell me right now, do you support the wall?
Yes, I support the wall.
You support the wall, dang gummit. You support the wall. All right, now you tell me now. Do you want 2,000 border agents to monitor the wall, Toll Mater?
That would be a good thing.
Yeah, that would be a good thing, dadgummit. You support that? Donald Trump wants to pay those salaries. You won't pay that? All right, fine. Do you support blocking illegal asylum seekers, Uncle Daddy?
Say again.
Say again, dadgummit. I'm going to keep saying it. Do you want to block illegal asylum seekers?
Nope.
Okay, wait, let me rephrase this, because this is one that I actually agree with. Donald Trump is saying he wants to block illegal immigrants from seeking asylum. You don't want illegal immigrants to come in, so you do support that, correct?
I do support not letting somebody that came over illegally to then...
Okay. All right, so you agree.
You won't even let nobody finish, man. See, that's the problem.
I want to see you finish on my live stream. That's nasty. So again, you want to block the illegal asylum seekers. The fourth. I hear. Okay. Fourth question. Fourth question.
You're a stupid buck.
Okay. Tell me something I don't know.
You wear a girl's dress.
Uncle Daddy, calm down, Uncle Daddy. Do you want to limit immigration?
You're really
Do you want to limit immigration?
Do I want to limit immigration?
We're almost done, Uncle Daddy. Do you want to limit immigration?
Yeah, man, I want to limit immigration. Right now, there shouldn't be any immigration.
Dadgummit, ain't that the truth? All right, do you want to give millions of dollars to border states, Uncle Daddy, like Greg Abbott, the Republican governor of Texas, so that he could secure the border how he sees fit? You want to support that?
Yes, I do.
All right, now, dadgummit, you just endorsed Kamala Harris's border policy. That's not Donald Trump's. I lied to you. You just endorsed every single policy by Kamala Harris's border policy. Dadgummit, you just did it. Now I'm going to play you a fiddle. Dadgummit, Uncle Daddy, you just endorsed Kamala's border policy. Now it's time for us to fiddle. Come on, Uncle Daddy, get your tambourine. Let's do it. Yeah, Uncle Daddy. Yeah, let's play a fiddle. Come on, Uncle Daddy. Tell us, will you now endorse Kamala Harris on the border? You might as well. You just did it.
This is why you suck dicks.
Ain't that the truth, Uncle Daddy? Let's play another fiddle. You're mad because you just endorsed Kamala Harris's border policy. Everybody, let's see some instrument emojis in the chat. I want to see what instruments y'all are playing. Let's play a fiddle in honor of Uncle Daddy. Uncle Daddy, you just endorsed Kamala Harris's border policy. Can you do me a favor and tell me why you just endorsed her border policy? Come on, I'll play you a fiddle. Let's go. Ain't that the truth, Uncle Daddy? Tell us, dadgummit. Why you voting for Donald Trump when you just endorsed Kamala Harris's border policy? Why'd you run away, Uncle Daddy? I was gonna play Uncle Daddy a fiddle. Not y'all commenting emojis, so now all of us playing a fiddle for Uncle Daddy. So Uncle Daddy just endorsed Kamala Harris on the border and then got mad that he did that. Folks, if you like what you're hearing today and you want to support me, my Venmo, my PayPal, my Cash App, those are in my bio. I hope you enjoy the fiddle. I hope you enjoyed the fiddle. Hi, May. Are you voting for Donald Trump?
No, I'm sorry.
Oh, you're good.
Yeah,
I got you. You're good. He came up. He was like, I'm voting for Donald Trump. And then he goes and endorses Kamala's border policy.
What's going on?
That's too funny. Brielle, thank you so much for the love on Venmo. Thank you so much, Brielle. Hello, guest. Are you voting for Donald Trump?
Yes, I am.
That's disgusting.
Why aren't you?
Because I'm not disgusting.
Got it. So
why are you voting for a criminal?
Yeah, so I overheard you talking about Kamala's policy.
Why are you
past 4 years?
voting for a criminal?
Did she implement that policy?
See an answer to me?
Yep.
Why are you voting for the criminal?
I'll answer.
Guys, you didn't know, but in a past life, I was actually a singer. I'm pretty talented. So why are you voting for a criminal?
I got it. So did Kamala pass those
Kamala.
policies?
Can you pronounce it right? I know that vocabulary and grammar literacy is not really a MAGA Republican's first subject, but it's Kamala.
Yeah, sure.
It's pretty easy.
Did she implement those policies in the past 4 years?
Can you say Kamala?
Are you going to answer me?
Can you say Kamala?
Did she implement those
policies? Can you try to pronounce her name right? It's pronounced Kamala.
I
try again. The immediate crash out is wild. Can you just pronounce it right? You're going to pronounce her name right or you're not going to speak. It's that easy. Pronounce her name and then we'll move on.
Oh, so you want to go that route, huh?
Yeah, say her name. Go ahead.
Did she implement those policies?
He's not going to say it.
Years?
You're not going to get an answer on a single thing if you don't say the name.
Yeah,
I'm going to kick you.
Don't kick me and run.
You have 10 seconds to say your name right or you get kicked. 10.
So you want to play that running game, huh? Because you know very well I won't.
7, 6.
Where are
5,
those policies implemented in the past 4 years, you
3,
big baby?
2.
Come on, don't run. Let's go.
Okay.
Let's
Goodbye, Pookie. We'll miss you. So first off, let's recognize something. I asked him, why are you voting for the criminal? I asked him why you're voting for Donald Trump. He wouldn't name why. He wouldn't respond. Then he asked me a question instead of responding to mine. That is not going to work. That's issue 1. The second issue, when you come up here and you won't say Kamala's name right, but you'll say Donald Trump's name right, and you call her Kamala or Camilla, that's not going to work. Show equal respect for the candidates. Understood? Okay. The same way if my candidate was a criminal and she's not, yours is, I would say that my candidate's a criminal. That's called equal respect. But mine's a prosecutor, yours is the criminal. So if you're going to ignore my questions and ignore me telling you to pronounce your name right, you're out of my life. It's that simple. Either respect the office or get out. So simple. So simple. Hi, guest. Are you voting for the criminal?
Already did.
Wow. Do you want a cookie or a sticker? Thank you so much, Captain. Captain Hook, thank you so much for the galaxy. That's so nice and cool name. So, do you want a cookie or a sticker?
Whatever, doesn't matter.
Congratulations! The cookie's your favorite. It's made with toenails and cat hair. I hope you enjoy, because that's what you're going to be looking forward to if you're under a Donald Trump presidency. A lot of toenails and cat hair. So tell me again, why did you vote for a criminal, a sexual abuser, and a civil fraudster? My hands are here. I didn't mute you. Don't gaslight. You muted yourself. So why are you voting for a criminal?
A man in Mexico.
Really? Do you care about border security?
Yes.
Okay. Why did Donald Trump block the bipartisan border deal that would have secured the border in its entirety, making this conversation you and I are having redundant? Because the construction of the wall would be underway. There would be a cap on immigration, a block on illegal asylum seekers, a limit on overall illegal immigration. There would also be millions of dollars pouring into border states and 2,000 border agents monitoring the border. Why did Donald Trump vote against that? And why aren't you holding him accountable for voting against that?
Why are you not holding Kamala?
Yeah, pivot. Nice pivot. Nice pivot. Answer the question.
Why are you not holding her? Why are you not holding her?
Nice pivot. Pivot. Kamala tried to pass the bill. Donald Trump blocked it. Why are you not holding Donald Trump accountable for blocking it? Nice pivot.
Because Donald Trump didn't block it. Congress did.
He admitted he did. So did Congress. Congress also admitted that Donald Trump is responsible for blocking
Congress
it.
is the one who had
Sir,
to say.
listen very closely.
He wasn't even the
Donald
president
Trump
at the time that Congress
you're
blocked
confused.
it.
Yeah, this wasn't public service. This wasn't legislative. This was politics. Donald Trump admitted he blocked it. He took credit for it. He's proud of it. Mitch McConnell, Mike Johnson, the Speaker and Senate Minority Leader also made clear
there's
Donald
the person
Trump
that actually blocked it. That's
What?
the person that actually
They admitted
blocked
that Donald Trump made calls to their
So what? It
delegations
doesn't
to
mean
block
they have
it.
to do a damn thing he says.
If Donald Trump told Marjorie
They're their
Taylor
own
Greene to jump, she
individuals.
would
Are you not an
why did Donald Trump
individual?
make the calls?
Are you not
Why
an
did Trump make the
individual? Can you
calls?
not make your own
Why did Trump
choice?
make the calls?
I have no idea. I'm not in his
Why
head.
aren't you holding him accountable for making the calls to block a border bill that would have secured the border in its entirety? He made the
Because
calls.
he didn't.
Why won't you? He
Mike
did. He said
Johnson
he did.
did.
Nope. Donald Trump said he made the calls and he takes credit for blocking it. So why aren't you holding him accountable for making those phone calls?
Mike Johnson is the one who actually
You can keep trying to
cracked the
pivot.
whip and said,
Donald
"Don't
Trump,
do it."
Donald Trump, Mike Johnson endorsed it. Donald Trump blocked it.
Yes,
Donald
he
Trump
did,
made the
and
phone
he's the
calls.
one who cracked
you
the whip
understand
and made
Donald
it
Trump
happen.
made the phone calls and he says he made the phone calls. You understand that? Donald Trump
Yes,
says
but
he made
guess
the phone
what?
calls. Okay, so
Doesn't
why
mean
are
Mike
do you
Johnson has to
admit?
follow
Do you
his
at
fucking
least
rules.
admit the hypocrisy is beyond me? Do you at least admit that Donald Trump shouldn't have made those phone calls?
No, because Democrats do
Wow,
the
the
same damn thing.
hypocrisy! The hypocrisy is insane. So
Do
you're
you,
saying
whenever
this
a
bill would
Democrat
have
does the
blocked?
same thing?
You're saying this bill that was blocked
Do
by
you
Donald
on
Trump
whenever a
would have
Democrat does the
secured the
same
border
thing?
in its entirety?
Do you?
The hypocrisy is beyond me. You know nothing. You're brainwashed. You just said that you won't hold Donald Trump accountable for making those calls to block this border bill. Neither will you hold him accountable for making those calls. And you say that you don't disagree with those calls, but you are quite literally endorsing and supporting a bill that would secure the border in its entirety. How insane
No,
is
it would
that?
not.
So you don't go by facts. You just
It
go
would
by
not.
hypocrisy. You don't go by stats or facts or
You're
basic stance.
spewing.
You go by hypocrisy.
You're spewing talking points. You're not
Nope,
spewing.
this was
any
a bill
facts or
introduced
anything.
by Republicans and blocked by Donald Trump. Do you understand this bill? Were you around for this bill?
Yes.
Okay. So tell me about the bill. Go ahead. Because I told you. You tell me what was wrong with it.
Everything, because the money would be misappropriated by Democrats.
That's not true. First off, the Republican House majority would be responsible for appropriating the money because they have the committee. They are in charge of the majority in Congress. So again, when you say Democrats would misappropriate the money, that's impossible. It would be in the pockets of the Republican Party. Two, when you come up here and say everything was not wrong with the bill, you just said that something was wrong with the bill, and I'm asking you, what is that something? Tell me. Go ahead. What was wrong with the bipartisan border bill?
Like I said, I disagree with it.
So
in-
you don't
in
know
its
what was wrong with
entirety.
it. So nothing was wrong with it because you can't name what it is. So then shut up. You don't get to run around saying that the border bill was a bad bill when you can't name a single thing that was wrong with it. That's insane. That's insane. So hold Donald Trump accountable for blocking it.
I did. I voted for him.
That's not holding him accountable. That's showing that you're a sheep. Congrats. Let's get some cow emojis in the chat. Moo! We got a sheep. Let's herd the cattle. Moo! Oh, my bill.
What have you ever done for your country?
Moo! Herd the cattle. Let's get some cow emojis in the chat.
What have
All
you
right,
ever
let's
done
get up
for
the
your
next
country?
guest. This one's a hypocrite. Move on. What did I do for my country? Well, first, let's start off with the fact I didn't incite an insurrection to overturn it. Neither did I spit on the graves and legacies of soldiers by exploiting their their hollow ground at Arlington National Cemetery for a photo op. Never have I stripped away the rights of women by overturning Roe v. Wade, and never have I mocked veterans who put their lives on the front line by calling them suckers and losers, or telling people that John McCain wasn't a hero. Never did I do that. That's your candidate. Hi, are you voting for Donald Trump? Okay, goodbye. Never did I dodge the draft by saying I have bone spurs. Hi, Tara. Are you voting for Donald Trump?
No, I'm not. I'm just going to say you're amazing. I actually love listening to you.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate you tuning in. Let's get up our next guest. Hello, guest. Are you voting for Donald Trump?
Yes, sir.
That's gross.
I have a question for you.
I get the first question. Welcome to life. Wipe your feet off on the virtual doormat.
I'm waiting.
Why are you voting for a criminal?
To be honest, I don't really personally think he's a criminal.
I'm sorry, so you saying he didn't commit the crime that he was convicted of by a unanimous jury appointed by his own lawyers? He appointed Republican lawyers, paid for them, in fact, to appoint a Republican jury, and they found him guilty. So are you saying that the jury was wrong and that this is political persecution, or are you saying he never committed the crime?
The first one, because I feel like if he was actually
Really?
guilty,
So you're saying he did commit the crime, but that you believe it's political persecution?
yeah, because if he actually committed that crime, how would he be running for president? Let's be honest. Wouldn't he be in jail?
Just give me a sec. Can I do a quick prayer? Dear God, what the fuck is this shit? What the fuck is this? Is this a test? Did I do something?
But you want to vote for Kamala Harris.
This is between me and God. Give me a second.
When she
Give me a
just
second.
said
This is
that
between
it's
me and
at a
God.
different rally.
Ma'am,
Isn't God at a...
this is me and God. Give me a moment for my holy second. Dear God, what the fuck? I'm going to come upstairs and I'm going to kick your butt if this is what you're testing me with. Okay, I wouldn't even put this on my worst enemy. What is this? Amen. Okay, unmute. Let's go. So help me better understand this. You understand that Donald Trump wasn't the victim of political persecution, right? Like, do you genuinely think he was the victim of political persecution? He's a convicted felon out on bail awaiting sentencing. You think this is all a political persecution scheme, huh?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so is Hunter Biden the victim of political persecution as well? Because he's more
I have a
politically
question for
relevant. Is Hunter Biden the victim of political persecution as well?
You
Because
asked
he
your first
is-
question. Let me ask my question.
Right, this is how it works. So tell me again. Hunter Biden is the victim of political persecution as well, right? Because Hunter Biden is more politically relevant than Donald Trump. His father is the current sitting president, but he as well is a convicted felon. Can you break that down? Or are you a hypocrite?
You asked your question. Can I ask mine?
You're not going to answer?
No, I don't need to.
You
my
do.
question is,
So let's
why
try
are
this
you-
again. So
like,
tell me again.
Respectfully, like actually we're being respectful.
Respectfully, you're not answering my question. So one more time, you just said Donald Trump was the victim of political persecution. Is Hunter Biden not also the victim of political persecution then?
Whatever you want to believe. I'll respect you. I don't
Steve,
care.
thank you so much for the $10 on PayPal, and Maria as well. Thank you, Maria, for the $10 on PayPal. Steve and Maria, they gave that to me because they hate you. Anyway.
Oh, slay.
Yeah, I know, right? Thanks for being so hateable. It makes it easier for me. So tell me
that's
again,
wonderful.
is Hunter Biden...
so I have
it's
a
fine. So
question
is
for
Hunter
you.
Biden the victim of political persecution as well? Yes or no?
I don't really care. I don't really pay attention to them, to be honest.
It's just so easy
But
to answer the question.
my
Is Hunter
question-
Biden also the victim of political persecution? Yes or no?
No.
Okay, so no, Hunter Biden isn't because he's a Democrat, but Donald Trump is the victim of political persecution because he's a Republican. That's called hypocrisy. Do you understand that?
Sure.
Okay, and you're proud to be a hypocrite?
I mean, if that's what you want to call me, I really don't care.
It's not what I want to
I mean,
call you.
yeah,
It's what the
like-
textbook Webster definition would be. You, by fact, are a hypocrite if you're saying Hunter Biden and Donald Trump, who are both convicted felons, are on this side not the victim of political persecution, but on this side, the victim of political persecution. That is hypocrisy by definition.
Okay.
Okay,
I have
so
a
as long
question
as you
for you.
recognize that, what's your question?
Why are you voting for Kamala Harris?
Sure. May I put you on mute?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Thank you. Let me get a cough real quick before I do my thing. We got some asthma. Can we get some W asthma in the chat? Where's my asthma people out? So I'm voting for Kamala Harris based off of numerous reasons. And first, I was taught at a very, very young age that you don't vote solely based off of policy. You also vote based off of character. If you agree with somebody on everything and yet you know they're an awful person, you don't vote for them. But if somebody may disagree with you on some policy and they're a great person, consider voting for them. And this is why I have voted for Democrats and Republicans on both sides of the aisle. But Donald Trump is no Republican. Donald Trump is a blatant fascist rhino. Called a fascist by his own chief of staff, John Kelly, mind you. Donald Trump, the guy who violated the right to choose by overturning Roe v. Wade, that being the law of the land. Donald Trump, who violated the Second Amendment, being the first modern day president to violate said constitution when he said he wouldn't touch the Second Amendment, and runs around saying Kamala's going to violate our Second Amendment when his bump stock ban was overturned in June of this year. By his own Supreme Court, I might add, who ruled Donald Trump as a constitutional violator. Donald Trump, who says that you could work a full-time job, but you can't earn a living wage. Donald Trump, who says, I support our unions, but I just won't support the right to organize. Donald Trump, who says if you are a black American, you may vote, but your vote may not count as much as a white American's. Donald Trump, who questions on the basis and foundation of Barack Obama's birthplace simply because he was the first black president, but doesn't question that of Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton, George Bush, George H.W. Bush, Ronald Reagan, or any white candidate or president. Just the black ones. Donald Trump, who took full-page advertisements out in a newspaper to promote the unalive of the Central Park Five who are exonerated of their crimes. Donald Trump, the man who dodged the draft, who mocked the legacy of our veterans and soldiers, who quite literally said John McCain wasn't a hero when the man was a war legacy icon. Donald Trump, who wouldn't hold Vladimir Putin accountable for putting bounties on the heads of our soldiers. Donald Trump, who saluted a North Korean soldier. Donald Trump, who didn't bring home U.S. Marine Paul Whelan, Joe Biden did, and yet because Donald Trump couldn't negotiate a deal to simply bring home a U.S. Marine with Vladimir Putin, you expect voters to think he could negotiate a deal with Vladimir Putin to end the invasion in Ukraine? Get real. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, they have accomplished historic work. And Kamala Harris, I look at her character first and foremost. This is a black woman from a middle-class background. Somebody who became a district attorney but had no right to do so because every card in America was socioeconomically stacked against her. Somebody who then became an attorney general, leading the largest Department of Justice in the nation. Second only to the U.S. Department of Justice in a state that had the fifth largest economy in the world. Kamala Harris, who became a senator and vice president. When again, all the cards led to her not to becoming that, and yet she persevered. Kamala gave us the Inflation Reduction Act, the CHIPS and Science Act, the Infrastructure Package, the Respect for Marriage Act, a social issue that Donald Trump wouldn't touch with a 10-foot pole unless it's stripping away the marriage equality rights of others. The same way he stripped transgender Americans out of the military, those who were fighting for yours and my life, he took them out of the military. That ain't cool. Kamala Harris created tens of thousands of good-paying union jobs that will last decades. Jobs double the amount of jobs that Donald Trump created. On average, not counting pandemic jobs, Donald Trump created 178,000 per month. If I counted pandemic jobs lost, it would be negative 30,000. Kamala, 400,000 jobs. That is well over what Donald Trump created. Not to mention, she added half the amount of debt he added. You understand? Great. All of us do. All of us do. Folks, if you're just tuning in, and if you like what you're hearing today and you like what I said, feel free to support me. My Venmo, PayPal, Cash App are in my bio. I use those funds as I travel in state and meet voters in person. Or if you want to hit that follow button in the top left corner, join our little family. I'd be happy to have you as part of our nice little fierce team we got going on here. Let's try to get up our next guest. If you are voting for Donald Trump, join the guest request. And Victoria, thank you so much for the Venmo. I appreciate your love and support. Love you right back. Thank you so much, Victoria. Hello.
How's it going?
Depends. Are you voting for Donald Trump?
I am.
Then it's going really badly. So why are you voting for a criminal? Thank you so much, Nestor, for the money gun. And thank you, Kate. Oh, wait, Kate. Can you shut up for a second? Mods, it looks like Kate, a friendly, got blocked. Can you please unblock Kate? Mods, thank you. All right, unmute. So why are you voting for a criminal?
I'm not voting for a criminal. I'm voting for someone who was persecuted for his political leanings.
Hunter Biden? Hunter Biden's not running for the candidacy, but Hunter Biden's also a criminal.
Yeah.
So why are you voting for Hunter Biden? That seems weird.
Hunter Biden wasn't running for political office when he was persecuted.
Hunter Biden's not running for political office, period. I don't know why you're saying you're voting for him.
I said I was voting for Donald Trump. You asked me if I was voting for Donald Trump.
So you are voting for the criminal. So why are you voting for Donald Trump, a criminal?
He's not a criminal. He was
sorry, grapist. I hope that's a better term for you. So why are you voting for the rapist?
Okay, go in on that.
Yeah, why are you voting for him?
Why is he a rapist?
Yeah, why are you voting for him?
Are you talking about E. Jean Carroll?
Are you okay?
Are you talking about E. Jean Carroll?
Are you good?
Answer the fucking question.
Can you tell me why you're voting for the rapist?
I'm
you're getting very emotional.
But you keep dancing around the question.
It's so easy to trigger a MAGA Republican. I'm asking why you're voting for the rapist.
And I'm telling you, are you voting for E. Jean Carroll? Or
why
are you talking
so
about E. Jean Carroll?
Are you okay?
Are you
Did your
talking
sister
about
wife upset you this morning?
Dude, you're a joke. You literally.
Anyway, so why are you voting for the criminal?
Your entire thing is you talk over people and you deflect
My entire
questions.
thing is the fact that I'm asking you a question and you won't
answer a
just
single
respond.
question from somebody else other than your snide-ass remarks.
Actually, I've answered every question, and I'm just asking you a question, and you won't answer. The gaslighting is beyond insane. Just answer the question.
Look at your comments, dude. Everyone's saying you're debating like a child. You're a child.
Nobody's saying that. Can we get some W Johnnies in the chat? Watch this. I want to make him mad. I want to make this guy mad. Ready? Let's get some W Johnnies in the chat. This one's gonna make him even more mad. This one's very easy to anger. I mean, this guy's way triggered. This guy is just way triggered.
I'm not even triggered.
Anyway, so tell me, why are you voting for the criminal? Oh, W Johnny is top comment.
You wanted to bring up the fact that he's a rapist, right?
I said, why are you voting for a criminal?
And then you asked me if I'm voting for a rapist.
Right, because you didn't want to answer the question. He's also a civil fraudster. Why are you voting for him?
Why am I voting for him? Because he stands up for the stuff that needs to be done in this country.
That didn't make sense. That was like me asking you, what's your favorite kind of food? And you saying, I like the edible kind. You got to give me a recipe or ingredients.
What are you voting for Kamala on? Because you never said what you're voting for Kamala.
Did you just miss the entire last conversation? Because I just said exactly why I'm voting for Kamala.
Explain what I'm trying to say. You went on about character. You didn't say anything about policy.
Excuse me, ma'am. You just said that you don't know why I'm voting for Kamala. Everybody in the chat just heard why I was voting. Like, I just went on a 5-minute response. Did you miss the whole thing?
Okay, it was word salad. Just
it
like
really
Kamala.
wasn't. I talked about policy. I talked about character. I talked about morals, values.
You talked about the Inflation Reduction Act. You talked about when I grew up. I was
the Inflation Reduction Act, the Infrastructure Package, the Chips and Science Act. I just named 3. Okay, I just named 3. Can you tell me one policy that Donald Trump passed that economically benefited the middle class?
When Obama was in office, I never got my tax return because of his Medicaid.
It said Donald Trump, not Obama. Can you tell me one policy that Donald Trump passed that
you
economically benefited the middle class?
Conversation goes.
Okay, let me try again. You're pivoting, not answering. Tell me one policy. Tell me one policy.
People explain what they
Tell me the
say.
name of one policy that Donald Trump passed that economically benefited the middle class.
Taxes. I never got my tax return when Obama was in office because I graduated when Obama was in office, got my first job when Obama was in office, was never allowed to get
Let's get some W Obamas. You got your first job when Obama was in office? That's awesome. W Obama's in the chat. Thanks, Obama. That's awesome. Do you want to thank Obama yourself?
A normal 18-year-old.
Go ahead, thank Obama. Do you want to thank Obama too?
Talk.
I just figured you might want to take a moment to thank Obama for your first job.
Yeah,
Do you want to thank Obama?
Yeah, I will thank Obama.
Thank you, Obama. Let's go. Thanks, Obama. Let's get some W Obamas in the chat. So anyway, so you mentioned what? Donald Trump's.
No. Let me finish what I'm saying.
We got to hurry this up. You're getting boring. No offense, but you're getting kind of boring. So I want to ask you.
Not letting me get my tax.
Thank you, Obama. Yeah, let's get the thanks Obamas in the chat. Thanks, Obama. W Obama. All right, so guest, anyway, what I need you to do for me is tell me, are you speaking on Donald Trump's tax plan? Is that the policy you're referring to?
I'm referring to when he came into office and made it to where I was able to get my tax return, because when Obama was in office, I was penalized for not having
Thanks,
Medicare
Obama. Okay, so again, what I need to understand
Obama
here,
for making me
what
and
I
my
need,
family struggle.
thanks
for 8
Obama
years.
for the first
Thank
job
you.
you just said you got. So let's recognize
At 18 years
you're boring.
old and I worked on a
You're
farm.
boring.
That's not exactly Obama.
You're being boring. You're being boring. Let's step
I'm not
back
being
into
boring.
place
You're
on this.
talking
You're not
over me being
listening.
a snide
You're not
fucking
listening.
asshole.
You're not listening.
I am listening.
W. Obama has more than 100 comments. That's funny.
Me. Every time I go to make.
Stop crying. Listen, I'm asking you for a policy that Donald Trump passed that economically benefited the middle class. You're talking about an action he took, and he didn't even take that action. I'm asking you for the name of a policy, and you won't do that. It's because you don't know the name of a policy that Donald Trump passed that economically benefited the middle class. I could say, Joe Biden made the economy so much better. That is not a policy. Nestor, thank you so much for the love. Thank you for the galaxy. I agree Joe Biden made the economy better, but I can deduct reasoning and suggest he made the economy better by, for example, feeding into the middle class through small business entrepreneur opportunities. And I need you to tell me a policy where Donald Trump may have done the same, or any policy that Donald Trump passed that economically benefited the middle class. Go ahead.
When you were going on your rant about how great Kamala was, you mentioned the fact that she had created.
You are pivoting.
No, I'm trying to get my point.
You just did. Answer the name. The next word that comes out of your mouth should be. We were doing so well, and now you're getting so angry. What I need you to do is take a deep breath if you need it. Take a deep breath if you need it. You need to tell me a policy he passed that economically benefited the middle class. And if you can't, it's not a game. It's a conversation. You're getting angry. Tell me the policy. Bro, what's the policy?
You're deflecting. You're not letting me.
Can we get some L guests in the chat? This is insane. Deep breaths. L guests in the chat, please. This is insane. Name the policy. If you can't, then say you can't.
Let me speak.
Just name the policy. I want you to speak. First, say the name of the policy, then say what you want.
The policy because
because you don't know any policy.
What? Yes, he did, dude. You
don't know any policy. So there was the Jobs and Tax Act of 2017, which in part is the policy you're touching on, except you're not even speaking on it right. Can you tell me what the tax deduction was that Donald Trump gave to the middle class?
It wasn't really a tax deduction. It was the fact that he was no longer.
Oh my God!
Let me finish.
How do you not know this simple thing? How do you not know one policy that Donald Trump passed that economically benefited the middle class? And how do you say that his one policy that did economically benefit the middle class, you can't speak on the tax deduction? You just said that there wasn't one. You're a MAGA Republican saying he didn't cut middle class taxes. As you're talking about taxes. Where do I go from here? Like, let's get out of the economy altogether. I'm done playing with the economy. You don't know numbers, you don't know stats, you don't know digits. Where do you stand on abortion? Let's talk about a social issue. Because this is just, we can't do numbers with you.
About abortion. I believe abortion should be protected federally for rape, incest, and murder. But the problem is when we had
a weekly cutoff.
What?
What's your weekly cutoff? Right now, the average is 18 to 24 weeks.
Weekly cutoff? I don't have a weekly. I stay away from that because I don't have an
Okay, so a woman can have an abortion whenever. You don't really care about a week.
If she has been raped or is an incest or if the life of the mother is in danger.
Right. Now, let's say that her life is at risk, that she wasn't the victim of incest, that she, wasn't raped. Let's say that she just wants to make a decision for herself without the government interfering and she wants an abortion. Is she allowed to have that abortion, or are you, a man, going to tell her she can't?
I'm not going to tell her what she can and do not.
Okay, so then she can have that abortion even if she doesn't fall under your exceptions. Is that accurate?
If she's in a state that allows it, then that's the legal law.
So first off, let's make clear. I'm asking you for your personal opinion on this. Should she?
I gave you my personal opinion. My personal opinion is some people have situations that they got to deal with.
That's not called an opinion. Again, let me repeat, because maybe you're misunderstanding. I get you're too stunned to speak coherently.
I say 3 words and you
interrupt me. I got it, because you're not answering the question at hand, and I'm very good at ensuring people are held accountable.
Dude, your entire comment section is laughing at you, saying guests can't even say a full sentence.
Cry more. Do you want to cry into this cup, though, so I could drink the tears later?
Oh, not in that
Okay, so
cup.
listen very closely. What I need you to do is tell me where you stand on the weekly cutoff. Right now it's 18 to 24 weeks, and that is the restriction.
Dude, you're fishing for controversy. I literally told you that I don't have an opinion because I am a dude who shouldn't have an opinion on that. But
this doesn't make any sense.
Generality,
so you're saying you're fine if women lose their right to choose.
What you're doing? That rape, incest, and murder.
What you're doing is saying you're okay if women lose their right to choose if they're in a state where it's not permitted. So if you're saying that you're okay with Kate Cox not being able to have an abortion in a state where she was prevented by Greg Abbott for a non-viable pregnancy. She had a non-viable pregnancy and she was not permitted to have an abortion because Greg Abbott wouldn't let her. You understand that's wrong, and yet you won't say it's wrong because you're trying to stay in part with the Republican platform on this topic. So again, help me better understand this. Do you believe there should be a restriction on abortion, or do you believe in abortion up until the 9th month? Because I'm trying to understand where you stand on this subject. You're not answering, right? So give me your stance on this.
You're not getting the controversial take out of somebody that you want.
So it's not a controversial take. I just need you to respond, and you're refusing because you think it's going to be controversial. If it is controversial, then own up to it. Own up to your controversy. Don't just refuse to respond.
I don't have controversy.
So are you saying? Listen again.
I told you how I feel about abortion because
you didn't. Are you saying?
All
right, you're not going to. Are you saying 0-week abortion ban, or are you saying abortion up until the 9th month? And if not either, then what is your regulation in between? Unmute and respond. You just heard the question. Respond. I'm trying to let you answer and you refuse. Again, 0-week abortion ban or abortion up until the 9th month. And if neither of those two, then where is your weekly cutoff? I need you to talk. Like, can you unmute? I'm begging you to speak. I'm fucking begging you to speak to me and you refuse to answer. Unmute and answer. You're going to pretend you can't unmute? You know how to unmute. If you don't want to speak, that's fine, but then admit it. So this guest here refuses, because he hates America and women, to own up to his own controversy. He just said that he won't tell me what his weekly cutoff is when it comes to the right to choose. He's more than happy standing back and watching as women lose their right to choose in states like Texas, where Kate Cox couldn't have an abortion for her non-viable pregnancy. Or Amber Thurman in Georgia, who lost her life due to Donald Trump's abortion ban. Donald Trump, the guy that this guy wants to vote for. So why won't you answer the question?
Are you there? Can you hear me?
What is the answer to my question?
Can you hear me? Can you answer that? I don't know. I don't want to just talk and not hear.
Do you think I can't hear you?
Yeah, because you just said that I was muted for how long? I was trying to figure that out.
Okay, well, you knew how to unmute. You were just
no,
saving
I didn't.
time.
This is the first time I've been in a live and I don't use TikTok.
We've already done the mute thing, and you've unmuted and aggressively unmuted. Don't pretend like you don't know how to unmute.
No, because the thing
answer
will
the
pop up
question
on my
with the
phone
pivot. We don't got to do the pivot. I get it. This is a pivot.
This isn't
what you're doing now is a pivot.
I'm trying to explain
this
myself.
Is a pivot. So answer, and there's the F slur. You hear yourself? I made you that mad.
Loud and clear.
Shh, quiet. I triggered you that bad that you're running around saying the F slur. You just said the F slur. You're all the same. You MAGA Republicans hate America. You hate anybody who's different than you. And this is why you're behind in the polls. This is why you're behind in fundraising. This is why you're losing in the vote by mail electorate right now. Because you can't win like this. You just said the F slur. I triggered you that bad simply. Oh, and you ran away. I ain't even kick him yet. He just ran away. Let's get some cow emojis in the chat. Moo! Let's get some cow emojis in the chat, please. Herd the cattle. We got a runner. We got a runner, Uncle Daddy. Yeah! Moo! That's insane. How emotional. He got so upset simply because I was forcing him to answer the question. If you want to come up here and you're not going to answer my questions, don't come up here. It's that simple. It's that simple. Hi, Charlotte. Are you voting for Donald Trump? Charlotte. Yes, the fetus. It's like they come up here and they think I'm not going to force them to answer my question. Like, I don't pivot. I think I've made very clear by now, I don't pivot. So when you try to pivot, there just won't be a pivot. It's just not going to happen. Guest high, are you voting for Donald Trump?
Yes, sir.
You've already been up here. And they are really all trying to play the pivot game. Yeah, fun fact, I don't do the whole JD Vance thing. You're not going to pivot on me. Hi, Charlene. Are you voting for Donald Trump?
Heck no.
Let's get some W's for Charlene in the chat. Thank you for coming up. Let's get up our next guest. We do not pivot in this house. This is a pivot-free home. Anthony, hi.
Hell no, I'm not voting for Trump.
That's awesome. Let's get some W. Anthony's. Let's get up our next guest. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Trying to get up our next guest. Ooh, MAGA Republicans are so easy to trigger. It's insane. Hello, are you voting for Donald Trump?
Hell to the no.
That's awesome. Oh, we got all the Kamala supporters up here. I love it. Love to see it. Love to see it. We got all the Kamala supporters. If you're voting for Kamala, and rightfully so, my wife Melania is voting for Kamala too, and then you're going to want to join the guest request in a little bit. We're going to do some conversations with y'all in a little bit. Right now, we're just talking to Trump supporters. We're just talking to Trump supporters. All right, let's get up our next guest. Oh my gosh. Hi, are you voting for Donald Trump?
Can you hear me?
Fetus deletus. Fetus deletus is a beautiful spell. But, young wizard, when you use fetus deletus, don't forget, it is banned in some states like Alabama, and also you have to have the proper wand. Let's try to get up our next guest. Oh my gosh. Let's all practice, everybody in the chat. Let's get a fetus deletus. Let's get a fetus deletus in the chat. Ah, you did it! Successful, young wizards! You are all young wizards. Congratulations, you have successfully done fetus deletus. Congratulations. This guy's a recent guest. Let's try to get up our next one. Did you guys see how Kamala had like 30,000 people at a rally yesterday? I mean, that's insane. That's like one of the largest rallies in our nation's history, and Donald Trump can't get 12 people to show up to JD Vance's press conference. Hi, Ricardo. Are you voting for the criminal?
Hell yeah, I am.
That's gross. Why are you voting for a felon?
How's he a felon?
Do we got to play this every single time you MAGA Republicans come up? Do you guys just not trust the criminal justice system? Like, let me get this right. Do you MAGA Republicans all... I understand that you incited an insurrection that left law enforcement without their lives and law enforcement families without their loved ones, but do you guys really hate police this much to put a felon into the presidency? Like, you understand that you...
You saying hating police is crazy because...
Donald Trump said on April 5th, 2023,
as soon as the Biden and Harris administration came in, they defunded the police a lot.
Well, that's not true.
So for you to say hating the police,
not a dollar was touched.
It's crazy.
Not a dollar was touched. And secondly, let's understand they actually put more money towards law enforcement.
I'm talking about
not done.
Like,
you know that Donald Trump said on April 5th of 2023 on his Truth Social account that the police should be defunded. He said, and I quote, Congress should defund the police until they come to their senses. That is what he said.
So why is it that the police and military
they are endorsing Kamala? Now help me better understand this. Can I better understand this? Can you help me better understand this?
When you talk, brother,
Can you help me better understand this? Why are you voting for the criminal? Why are you voting for the criminal?
So here, let me finish up this point.
Can you respond?
So
can you tell me why
everybody in the military
I'm done playing.
And the police?
Maybe I'm being too nice. I'm not even being mean yet. If y'all think this is mean, y'all just wait. Ricardo, answer the question. Why are you voting for the criminal? I'm not looking for your coming of age and life story. Just speak on the question. Answer the question. Unmute. To the chat, to the MAGA Republicans in the chat who are like, let him speak. Guys, I'm begging him to speak, but only if he's talking in response to my question. If he's going to pivot into Monopoly Nowhere Land talking about My Little Pony, I don't need to hear it. Okay? All right, great. So guest, why do you hate the police? Ricardo, tell me why you're voting for a criminal. You just said that Kamala defunded the police. That didn't happen. Not a penny was touched. Instead, they funded the police and put more money into law enforcement. Your candidate just 1 year ago, April 5th, 2023, said we should be defunding the police on his Truth Social account. So Ricardo, unmute. Why are you voting for the felon? You know how to unmute. Or if you don't know how to unmute, then maybe you shouldn't be joining a live stream to debate on Donald Trump's policies when, like, you don't know how to. There you go. You got it. Good boy. So why are you voting for the criminal?
Because of everything that he's done. Because as a business owner, own three different. I own two different types of businesses.
Is it two or three?
We own an.
You got a side business you don't want to talk about? Well, we've got a criminal on our hands.
We have a feed store.
Run. I hear the police sirens. You hear that?
Store.
Wee-woo,
we sell feed for animals. I also have a mechanic shop.
So why are you voting for the criminal?
In the 4 years that Trump was president, we've seen the best numbers our business has ever seen, ever.
That has nothing to do with Donald Trump. What year was Donald Trump president?
What was that?
What years are you referring to?
Since the 2000s.
So thanks, Obama?
Before
so thanks, Obama?
2016 to 2020.
Okay, Donald Trump wasn't president in 2016. Obama was president in 2016.
I'm sorry.
So thanks, Obama. You're going to change it now?
2004. I'm sorry.
What are you talking about? Thanks, Obama, for this guy's business. You just gave Obama credit for what you're talking about. So thanks, Obama, not Donald Trump. Now, why are you voting for Donald Trump?
Actually, Obama did better than what Biden and Harris are doing right now.
Okay.
He did a little bit better.
Anyway, why are you voting for Donald Trump? You just endorsed Obama. That's great.
Because of the economy. Because as business owners,
I operated a small business during Donald Trump's time in the presidency. Don't play with me. I know well in and out what Donald Trump stood on when it comes to small businesses. Take a step back. What I want you to do is tell me one economic policy. What I want you to do is tell me one economic policy that Donald Trump passed that benefited the middle class.
Look, policies and stuff like that does not matter when you're living in real life.
Policy
when you're living in real life and you experience it, it's a big difference.
Policy tells you how much food.
A lot of my customers
You're just talking over me.
My business.
Can you let me talk?
A lot of my customers in my business now complain about
I'm just
not
keep
being able
crying
to
about
purchase
it.
stuff.
All right, Ricardo. I'm just going to mute you going forward when you keep talking over me, okay? So let's understand something. You quite literally endorsed Donald Trump. I mean, and then you turn around and make a blatant hypocrisy. You said that Donald Trump was good for small businesses. Won't tell me why, though. You won't tell me why. You just said you were making more money. And then you turn around and I ask you what year. You say 2016 when Obama was president. So thanks, Obama. And you're being a blatant hypocrite. Because instead of endorsing Obama, you endorse Trump. Now I want to better understand one economic policy that you can name that Donald Trump passed to economically benefit the middle class. You said you can't name it because policy doesn't matter. No, policy is everything. Policy defines how much food you're going to put on the table. Policy defines how your small business is going to operate. Policy defines every aspect of your life, from your children's education to your Social Security and retirement. So don't say policy doesn't matter. You just don't know a policy to name, so you're trying to belittle what policy is. Policy is your life entirely. Okay? So tell me again, why are you voting for the criminal? And if you can't name an economic policy, don't talk economics. Pick a different subject. Hurry up and unmute. I don't have all day. Let's go. Come on. Good boy. So why are you voting for the criminal?
I already told you because
it's not policy, I live in real life. It can't be economic focus.
I live in real life. I don't. You can name policies. You can name whatever you want. I live in the real life, brother. You live in policies. You live in fantasy world. You think that
policy is fantasy world? You just said that policy is fantasy world. Wow.
What policies has benefited you in the Biden and Harris administration?
Inflation Reduction Act, American Rescue Plan, CHIPS and Science Act, Infrastructure Package, Respect for Marriage Act, the Border Bill.
And you want to talk about the middle class?
I deal with the middle class
day by day, and everybody hates
I wasn't done naming policies.
That they cannot extend the dollar.
Okay, I mean, I wasn't done naming policies, but can you tell me one policy that Donald Trump has ever passed?
Like I said, it don't matter.
I just named 7. Can you name one?
The policies that
he has
passed.
One. Wow, the uneducation with the MAGA Republican Party is beyond. I mean, you can't name one policy he's ever passed in
the
any
inexperience that you Biden and Harris administration have is crazy.
I just named 7 policies. You asked me to name a policy. I named 7. I'm asking you to name one policy that Donald Trump passed. Can you name one single policy that Donald Trump passed? Somebody drop a 20. I'll kick him. Until then, I'm going to keep playing with my food. Tell me one policy that Donald Trump passed. Unmute. Let's go. One policy. Just one policy. It could be in any subject. Can you hurry up? Unmute. This isn't that hard. It's the button that looks like a microphone. No, he ran away. We got a runner. No. Thank you, Rosie, for the galaxy. No, we got a runner. Herd the cattle, Uncle Daddy. We got a runner. Moo. We got a runner, Uncle Daddy. Gotta get the cattle to herd the sheep. All right, let's get up our next guest. Folks, if you like what you're hearing today and you like, watching me smack down MAGA Republicans, feel free to support me. My Venmo, PayPal, my Cash App are in my bio. It all goes towards, thank you so much for the watermelon. It all goes towards my travel as I continue meeting voters across the state, both in person and online. Hello, Drew. Why are you voting for a felon? Oh, Drew ran away. Drew, I don't blame you. I'd be scared too. I'd be scared to talk to me too. I don't blame you. Folks, this is insane. This is insane.
Hello? How long have you been gay and does your absent father know, you fag?
Oh, my.
Come on, white boy.
Oh my gosh. In my arms of the angel, cry away, in the arms of the angel, cry away. Y'all just watching me get hate crimed up here for fun. Where's the love? What's going on? I will end this live. I don't care. I'm over this. I'm over this. Venmo, PayPal, and the Cash App, people. This is insane. Where's the love? I'm just getting hate crimed. I'm gonna play my emotional fiddle as I cry about what just happened. That's my emotion.
To come and pick up your
Hi, are you voting for Donald Trump? Jane? It's a little early to be sundowning now, don't you think, Jane? Let's get up our next guest. Heather, thank you so much for the love. For the rainbow flag, Heather, thank you so much for the $5 for the rainbow flag. And Sherilyn, thank you so much for the $5 as well. Y'all are too nice. You don't actually have to give me reparations for that kind of stuff. It's okay. These people aren't saying anything I haven't heard before. We're fine. Hi, Isaac. Are you voting for the criminal?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, some rainbow flag emojis in the chat, by the way, though. I want to see some rainbows. I want to see some rainbow flags. Let's blow that up with some rainbows. I think we ought to show them who's the majority here because they seem to think it's them and it ain't you. Isaac, you know you're not the majority here, right?
No.
Oh, good. We'll figure it out. So why are you voting for a criminal?
Well, number one, I'm not.
You just said you were voting for Donald Trump, right? Oh, you're so quirky. You're not like other girls. You affiliate with nobody. He goes, I don't affiliate with anybody. Okay, well, here's a newsflash for you. One of these two are going to be your president, so you ought to start affiliating with somebody. Thank you so much for the fruit. That is so nice. Catherine, thank you as well for the $5 in Venmo. Y'all are too nice. Riley, hi. Are you voting for Donald Trump?
Hell yeah.
That's gross.
Why is that gross?
You know exactly why that's gross. So why are you voting for a criminal?
You gotta run a country like a business.
Oh my gosh. Kimberly, thank you so much for the $20. And Diane for the $25. Diane and Kimberly. Shh, I'm talking to people. Kimberly, thank you so much for the love. And Diana as well. Thank you so much, Diana. Diana says $25 because of Riley. Thank you so much. I'm just kidding. She didn't say that. But I think it's funnier if it's because of you, because then you get upset. Joshua, stop, guys. You don't actually have to send me stuff right now. Like, please stop. Y'all are too nice. You're going to make me cry up here. Knock it off. Joshua, thank you so much for the love. I appreciate your message on PayPal. Thank you so much. Joshua, Diana, Kimberly, thank you so much. All right, Riley, unmute. Let's go. Riley, unmute. Okay, Riley, you're going to unmute in 3 seconds or you're getting kicked. 3, 2, 1. Yo. There you go. See, it's funny when I say you're about to get kicked and you guys immediately know how to unmute. You're going to unmute in 3 seconds or you're getting kicked. You have an echo. Ready? Goodbye. Poof. Next. It's funny how I'm like unmute in 3 seconds. Like I'm like unmute and they're like, oh, I can't unmute. I can't figure it out. And then I say you have 3 seconds to unmute or you're getting kicked. And now they magically know how to unmute. It's crazy. Hi, Robin. 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 Hello? Robin, where'd you go? Okay, bye, Robin. Robin just keeps muting and unmuting himself. He's just like, he just learns what the mute button is. He's like, mute, unmute, mute, unmute. Did you guys notice that? That was funny right there. Hi, guys. Are you voting for Donald Trump?
No, but I just wanted to say thank you so much for your work. Thank you.
Hey, man, I appreciate you taking the time. Normally, we have more productive conversations than the ones we're having today, but the MAGA Republicans are typically extra emotional on Saturdays, so thank you for coming up.
But thank you. Have a great day.
Helena. Y'all, stop. Helena, thank you so much for the $25 on Venmo. Y'all are too nice. Y'all are too nice. Folks, I appreciate the love. Thank you so much. Hello, Aiden. Are you voting for Donald Trump?
Yes, I am.
Ew.
Fair. So obviously I know that you have a lot more, I'm sure you have a lot more knowledge on all of this than I do. I don't know a lot. I just know from what I've like seen personally.
And what have you seen?
Just like watching some of like the rallies, and then also I have a lot of
Carrie, thank you so much for the love. Carrie said for spreading Kamala love and just sent $25. That is so nice, Carrie. Thank you so much. Were you saying something?
Yeah, and then just like watching like the rallies, and then also I have family members with like a lot of business owners and stuff like that, and just from like what they've told me, even though I'm not a business owner, so I don't know a lot about that. I just trust my own family members.
Well, I want to better understand something here again. When first and foremost you're looking independently as what candidate you should support, you should put your support behind the candidate that you might know best about. Sorry, do you guys hear the dog barking in the background?
Is that your dog?
Yeah. Hey, shut up or you're going to Springfield! Okay, so anyway, what I want to explain here is that when you look at your candidate, you got to best understand what they stand for. And when you say that you're going based off of your personal experience instead of that sort of policy and background, it doesn't come to terms with reality. So, for example, I operated a small business during Donald Trump's first term as president. And I remember very well that Donald Trump had implemented a 15 to 25% tariff on agriculture. This led to farmers having an export crisis, a surplus and supply and demand issue. And they passed off rising costs. Sorry, I have the laugh there. I was like, not Springfield in the chat. So they passed off rising costs to middle-class consumers through small businesses. That's how they made up the difference. So I had to raise costs on middle-class consumers, or we close our doors. So that right there hurt middle-class consumers and led to the equivalence of a $230 billion tax on middle-class consumers. And I think we got to recognize that. The reality is Donald Trump wasn't good for small businesses. Donald Trump wasn't good for middle-class consumers. Donald Trump was a very corporate-focused president. And I stand candidly by this. If you are a high-end staffer in a corporation, then Donald Trump is your president. If you work for a corporation, he's not your president. If Donald Trump, like if you're the CEO of a corporation, go vote for Donald Trump. You want him. If you're a working American, you want Kamala. Like, this is just the fact of the policy.
Okay. And yeah, because, well, actually, I don't work with any like corporation or business. I'm active duty military.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you for your support. And so, I mean, yeah, like I don't really know like a lot, and I know like I should be more aware as like an American citizen, because it like kind of is a responsibility, but I'm not surrounded by people that are very knowledgeable in political understandings. Nobody I really associate with being in the military has gone to college or really cares about the new. I mean, the stereotypical military personnel, like, don't want to go to college, don't really care about putting in political beliefs, kind of just like go to work, do this, do that, and whatever. So unfortunately, I don't know a lot, and
well, I want to preface this with, like, you do know a lot. It's just a different kind of experience, and you know, you don't need a college degree to, like, I've received more experience from on the work environment than I ever have from my degree, and my degree has proven to be redundant time and again. And I think what's important to recognize here is that, yes, if you're surrounded by people who may lean towards right-leaning policy or a right-leaning standpoint, that will impact your ideology. For example, I grew up in a rural conservative area, and that is why I'm such a moderate Democrat. If I grew up in like center of New York City, I will probably be more left-leaning, but that's just not my case. And I understand that's not your case either. And so what I think would be important to recognize here, instead of using this right now as a debate platform, is if you have any questions about these candidates, feel free to ask me right now, and I'll answer it very truthfully. I'll provide stats, facts, I could get sources. Or if you'd rather do that separately, not in front of 2,500 people, we can have a one-on-one conversation via messages, and that's absolutely fine too. Whatever you want to do here. But I want to make sure that you have the information to ensure that you're voting for the candidates that is going to support you.
Yeah, and I mean, there are like obviously there's like stuff that like I know 100% I don't agree. Like, there's stuff about Trump that I do not agree with, and there's some stuff about Harris that I don't agree with. Like, politically wise and personality wise. But I also, like, me personally, like, I don't think that like a presidential election should be a popularity contest on who I'd like as a better person, more as the, like, what I think they're actually going to do. And I know like a lot of stuff, like, how do I say this? I know like a lot of people say like, oh, you can't vote for Trump because he is a criminal and all of this, which, like, yes, I'm not saying like being a criminal is at all okay, or the actions that he has committed is okay. I don't support them. I don't agree with them. I think they're absolutely horrific. So I'm not I'm not one of those types that just think it's okay just because he's Trump, or that because he's the same political party as me, or like the people the people that like say like, oh, it's fake, because like,
look, and I don't mean to cut you off here, but I want to explain. You know, I voted for Democrats, I voted for Republicans, and I'll be very candid on this. In 2020, if Joe Biden hadn't picked Kamala as his vice president, there's a good chance I probably wouldn't have voted in 2020. I did inevitably vote for Joe Biden because he picked Kamala as VP. If he hadn't picked Kamala as his VP, I might have not voted for Joe, because I had some issues with Joe. And I liked Kamala's approach, and I believe that we should have had somebody from the law enforcement department in the presidency. That's why I supported Kamala from the get-go. And so Joe Biden didn't have that experience, and she did. And so I voted for him because he picked her. And now she is running, and I will pick her again because I like that she's a district attorney and attorney general who led the largest Department of Justice, second only to the U.S. Department of Justice. As someone myself who has also worked for an attorney general, I would absolutely love to see more attorneys general is actually the right way to say, run in the country. Somebody who became a vice president, a senator, and has never backed down from fighting for what's right in the law enforcement industry for criminal justice without fear or favor. Again, and then I look at Donald Trump, and at the get-go of this issue, we see that Donald Trump is a civil fraudster. I'm the guy who built the website. You're welcome, Donald Trump, so that he knows how much debt he has as it increases with interest down to the cent, $488 million and counting. I don't want a president who's in debt. That means you owe money to somebody. So you have to work at the will of somebody else to pay off that debt. I don't want that. I don't want somebody who was found liable of sexual abuse. And some on the far right say, well, he didn't do that. Okay, let's say he didn't. There's still more of a chance that he did than he didn't. I don't want somebody with any chance of having committed sexual abuse. And then he was found guilty on 34 felony counts of falsifying business records, checks, and statements. That's his own signature. That's his own documentation. And it's pretty easy not to commit a crime. So when you're running around committing felonies, you can't be in the presidency. This isn't a normal Republican. Again, I voted for both sides of the aisle. I would never vote for somebody like Donald Trump. This is somebody who has a background of violating the Constitution, for example. I'm a Second Amendment Democrat. I support the Second Amendment through and through. I don't like when people touch my Second Amendment. But he tries gaslighting people like me by saying Kamala's going to come for a Second Amendment when he implemented a bump stock ban that was in direct violation of the Second Amendment, overturned in June of this year by his own Supreme Court. He does the same thing to women. He goes to women and says, I'm not going to touch your right to choose. I won't touch your IVF. Overturns Roe v. Wade. Law of the land for 50 years. You lied to them. You lied to the Second Amendment enthusiasts. You lied to all of us. So you can't keep doing this. And I can go on, but I think what's important to recognize is 2 points. One, you seem very intelligent. What I would suggest here is, one, if you are feeling pressure to vote for Donald Trump because of those around you, recognize your vote is private. Even if you vote for Kamala and turn around and say you voted for Trump, at least then you could keep an inkling of integrity and know that you're not voting for a felon. And then two, again, if you have any questions on the candidates or policy, we can have a deeper conversation about this, like one-on-one, where there's not 2,000 people watching, 2,100 people watching, and we could break down what those policies are. But are there any questions I could answer for you right now about the candidates?
So I'm probably going to get a lot of hate for saying this, but I have like personal experience behind it, so that's why. So I used to be pro-choice, and then I got put into that predicament. I had a situation with someone that I met, and it kind of like I told her I would, like, obviously no like backlash, no hate, no like anything, like very like supportive of whatever that individual wanted to do, but and then she ended up choosing to go through that route, and then after it hurt like me emotionally. That was really, really hard for me, even though I know like from being pro-choice, like I wouldn't have to go through the situation that she would have to go through. It wouldn't be a decimal point hard for me compared to how it would be for her. So that's why like I have no like bad things about it. But it did hurt like me emotionally, and it should have a lot.
That is hurtful. Your emotions on that are valid, right? Because that is an emotional thing to experience. And I think you're right when you say like your emotion on that wouldn't be a decimal point in response to the emotion that she must have felt, right? She decided to have an abortion, and that is the most trauma-filling, emotional, just god-awful decision that somebody needs to make as to whether they can afford this right now. Can they not afford this right now? Do they want to risk complications? Do they want to move forward with this? Are they ready for this? Maybe not. And that's a woman. A woman has to decide that. And us as men, we watch them decide that, and we can have our personal opinions and our personal stance and our own emotions behind it. But at the end of the day, that is her body, and that's her choice. And we need to stand by what their decision is, because that's about freedom. And I think that, you going through this emotional challenge here, like this emotional event, it's deeply personal, but, it shouldn't be justification to then say, okay, well, this happened to me. I'm no longer pro-choice. I don't want to fight for a woman's right to choose, and now I'm going to fight to regulate a woman's right to choose. It's just not the right justification.
Yeah, and I do 100% see exactly where you're coming from and what you're saying, and I can agree to it to a point. But again, like also, I think that is just like I don't know. I don't know if just how like my brain works with like that experience, but I would not want to go, because I was so excited. I was very like, look, even though I didn't really know this person, like I was very excited. And
but your choice is to support her or not to support her, and you're choosing not to support her based off of what she chose to do. The actual option here would have been to support her and be there for her as she makes a decision that is deeply personal to herself. And
well, I did do that. Like, I was there for her. I supported her. I paid for everything. I made sure she was okay. I was there.
Now you're saying you no longer support that decision, which I think is where you got to recognize that it is her body and her choice. And at the end of the day, that is, again, her physical body at stake. So she's making a decision as to whether she's ready for that or not. And that is a decision you got to continue to stand by. That shouldn't expire. That decision to support her should never expire.
Yeah, and I get that. I think it's more because I do agree. I think it's messed up when guys make that and don't take responsibility for it, and then pretend that it's not their problem or don't want anything to do with anything. I think it's more of just me being personally scared of having to experience that again. But I do see exactly what you're saying, and I can't see that. Yeah. But
all right. Well, if you have any more questions about these candidates, let's talk one-on-one, where there's not going to be 2,500 people watching. Can get you any stats, any sources, any items you need. But I do hope that you reconsider and that you do vote for Kamala, because you sound like an intelligent guy. I trust that you are sincere and that you will make the right decision in the end. But Donald Trump is just not the candidate for you, man. Again, Donald Trump is the candidate for some people. If you're rich, that's your guy. I'm not rich. You're not rich. He's not our guy. But anyhow, if you have any other questions, let me know. I appreciate you coming up, and thank you again for your service.
Thank you so much for your support. Thanks for having me.
Alrighty, folks. We are at that point in the live stream where I want to get some Kamala supporters up here, and I want to hear some from some Kamala folks. If you are voting for Kamala Harris, please jump on into the guest request. And I think that that's a good place to end off with the MAGA Republicans. So I want to hear from some Kamala supporters now. If you are voting for Kamala Harris, join the guest request. Let's have a chat. I want to hear from y'all. I want to hear from some of y'all. Hi, how you doing, sweets?
How are you doing, Johnny?
I'm doing good. Are you voting for Kamala?
Yes, I am.
Tell me more.
Oh, I'm just thrilled. I just want to thank you for educating everybody in this community and the work that you do and everything. And I enjoy your live, and I just wanted to come up and thank you.
That is so nice. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for the kind words. You know, I do this in part because of entertainment. Of course, it's fun. And then also for education. And I think it's all about ensuring that people have the information they need to make a reasonable vote. And we know that the MAGA Republican Party is trying to ensure that people have as little information as possible. So it's all about combating that. But
yep.
Thank you.
As a mother of 3 daughters and a grandmother of a granddaughter, women's rights are extremely important, and there is no other choice for me but to protect my children.
Thank you for putting them first. You're a good mom.
Well, I am going to let you go and let everybody else come up. Thank you again, John.
Have a good one. All right, let's get up our next guest, folks. Again, if you are voting for Kamala, join the live stream. I want to talk to some Kamala supporters. I want to hear from y'all. Hello, D Valley. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. We're vibing. We're thriving. So are you voting for Kamala?
Yeah, I already did.
Oh, nice. Do you know what I love about this? If you talk to a Kamala supporter, they're like, I already voted. But talk to a Trump supporter and they're like, I think I'm voting on election day. When is it? November 6th? November 7th? And I'm like, yes, November 7th. That is your election day, MAGA Republicans. That is when you vote. So why'd you vote for Kamala?
So this was like my first time voting. So it was really exciting because I was in college when I think Trump and Clinton were running for office. And so I didn't vote last year because I wasn't in the country around the time. So it was a little bit difficult. But yeah, like the last time I remember like a presidential election that was like really crazy was like when I was in college and like that was going on. And Hillary actually came to my school. So I'm in North Carolina. And she came to University of North Carolina at Charlotte. That's where I went to college. And she spoke. And then I actually got to see President Obama endorsing her when he came to North Carolina. So, and my state's always on the border, which I hate. Like, I wish we were kind of firm on, the Democratic side. But I kind of hate it because you can kind of see, like, the distinction between Democrats and Republicans in the state. Like you'll be in like one part of the state and you'll drive down the street like maybe 10 minutes and then you see like a complete shift in that. And it's like it's really like, I mean, I'm not like saying like both sides aren't good. It's just like, you know, like the ignorance for like, if it was any other candidate, right? Like that's what you always say. Like if it was any other reasonable candidate, I wouldn't have an issue. But it's just like, you know, like this person isn't the best for the job. And like these people just don't see that. And I just like think that's kind of.
I mean, I look at Kamala Harris, right? And Kamala is overqualified for the job, from being district attorney, attorney general, senator, vice president, from not only negotiating deals like the infrastructure package and the Inflation Reduction Act. I mean, she's just far more qualified than Donald Trump in every aspect. And, you know, I say all the time, if this was Joe Biden still in the race, he would still be more qualified than Donald Trump, but to a lesser extent. And if this was Joe Biden and Nikki Haley in the race, this would be a conversation altogether different. But it's not Nikki Haley and Joe Biden, it's Donald Trump and Kamala Harris. And, you know, Republicans had their choice to pick their candidate. They picked a felon, and now they have to stick to that. And this is why they're behind in every aspect of the polls statistically, except the polls that they're funding themselves. But, you know, I genuinely stand by it. I think we're going to see a wipeout on election day, and they caused it themselves. They did this. So
yeah, it's really exciting though, because this time around, like my family, like I've been pushing my family to vote too. Like my dad's always like, I'll do it. So like when we found out that like Kamala Harris was on the ballot this year, I was literally like, oh, like my dad, I was like, Dad, go vote like in person. Don't like, you know, be lazy about it. I actually got him to like wake up at like 6 a.m. to like go early.
That's awesome.
8, and it's like, you know, there's always a line for early voting. So I like got my dad, like my mom, like my brother, my sister, like I got everyone. I was like, everyone, you have to go personally to vote. Like, I don't care what you're doing. Like, please make sure, like, you know, we're on the right side of history this time. So, but yeah, I just wanted to let you know, like, I really appreciate, like, you're always on my FYP. I'm always like, oh, like, I really enjoy listening to you, not just because of like the educational aspects, because I'm still like in my 20s, so I'm not like fully versed in like everything that's going on in the country with politics, because I'm not really political. But every time you're on my FYP, I'm like, oh, let me listen to like who he's talking to today, because every time you're talking to someone that's uneducated on like a lot of these topics, it's just really like a breath of fresh air. Like your takes on a lot of these things are like very like relatable. Like it's not just like always facts or, you know, like statistics. It's always like a personal aspect too, based on like, you know, what you dealt with when, you know, you had like your personal experiences, and then you kind of like tie into like the actual like facts and things. So it's always fun too, because your Donald Trump accent is really funny. I'm sorry. It's it's so funny.
You like the accent? It's a pretty good accent, I'm not gonna lie. It's pretty good. I appreciate it. Thank you again for the kind words, and thank you so much for coming up.
I really appreciate everything you're doing, and, you know, keep doing this, because this, like, even though people don't think this is a real job, like, it is. Like, everything that you're saying, everything that you're doing, even though like a lot of people don't see it as a real job, like we need advocates like this, you know, on the right. I appreciate
that.
So, thank you so much.
Shucks, you're gonna make me cry. Get out. Go on. Thanks for coming up. Thank you for coming up.
Thank you.
That's gonna make me cry on my own live stream. What are you doing, Ellie? Oh my gosh. Thank you for the kind words. Hello, Kelsey. Are you voting for Kamala Harris?
I am. I already did, actually. I voted on the first day of early voting in Georgia.
Yo, let's go, Georgia. Let's go. Okay. Oh, that's phenomenal. Yes. All right. How was the process? Was it a good process? Was it easy? Was it, if it was crappy, be honest.
No, it was super easy, actually. And surprisingly, like, you know how you can't really wear like politically leaning clothes to the polls? Surprisingly, there was a lot of people, and like elderly people too. I live in the Bible Belt, obviously, so we know Georgia's very, you know, Bible belty. But a lot of people were wearing blue, so I was proud to see that. And no, it was easy. I think a lot of people did come out. I think they said they ended up having 1,500 people vote on the first day just here in my little town. But yeah, it was very easy. We went first thing in the morning. My husband and I both, he also voted Kamala. So yeah, 2 of us got in there to go.
Can I just say like a massive thank you to you and your state? I mean, like, so I'm a Pennsylvanian, right? And we're like known as like the swing state that's going to decide the election. And like we are, but thank effing goodness gracious that we have Georgia, because if we fumble somehow, which I hope we don't, let's say we do, you are now a swing state too. Yes. And you are on an equal playing field with Pennsylvania. So now we got 2 opportunities here. And North Carolina is about to catch up. North Carolina sees us and they're like, well, I want to join Georgia and Pennsylvania. But thank you so much to you and your state, because y'all are like really making this, you're giving us so much more hope than I think.
I really hope to see Georgia stay blue. I'm seeing a lot in I live in a very, very Republican town. They actually hold their own MAGA rallies here, and it's bad. But I'm seeing more Kamala signs, so many that they're actually now starting to put up "We the people are voting Trump" signs all over my town, because more and more Kamala signs are popping up. So I don't know. I'm nervous, but I do have hope for my little town, at least. It's just people here are kind of scared to speak up about everything. I myself have never been scared. Back when Roe v. Wade was getting overturned, and it was very controversial, I proudly wore my shirts and hats and everything in public in support of Roe v. Wade. I still do. I'd wear it on my kids' field trips. I don't care. I wear them everywhere.
That's awesome.
But the guy I was listening to that was in the military that had a lot of questions for you, he was talking about abortion and how he was sad that his partner at the time had chosen abortion. And you were right. He is very valid in his feelings. And it is sad. However, the woman has to choose what's best for her. I'm a birth mother, so I am actually a product of forced birth. I got pregnant from a very inconvenient situation. I was going through a divorce, got pregnant by the man I was divorcing. He did not want the baby. I mentally, emotionally could not take care of the baby myself. I did not work. I was a stay-at-home mom. So when we separated, I was in the process of getting a job to take care of the child we already had, living with my parents, had no money. He was not helping me with the baby I had. So I wanted an abortion. However, I don't know where people get in their brains that you can just go to an abortion clinic and they hand them out for free.
They think it's a buy one, get one or something. It's like...
Yes, it was $400 something to have the abortion, of which I did not have. And my parents were not going to help me. My husband at the time was not going to help me. I had no other choice. I did schedule an appointment because I was like, I'm just going to sell some stuff. I'll come up with the money. I almost had the money, but not quite. I had to cancel it. Then I was like, okay, let's try a little bit harder. Again, I almost had the money, but I needed the money that I was from where I was selling things to take care of the child I already had. So anyhow, I ended up going through basically a forced birth situation. I had no choice, but I still did not have the means to care for her. So I ended up placing her for adoption.
Okay, my heart is breaking. Oh my gosh.
He is 7 years old, and the pain that I have to live with every single day of my life, because I brought in being a mother, knowing the love of a child, bringing in another child into this world, handing her over to another woman, another man to take care of and to take my baby away, moving off to California. I'm in Georgia. I don't ever get to see her again. I don't get to hear her laugh. She doesn't call me mommy, her first word, dada. She doesn't get to call her biological father. I don't get to see all these firsts with her. It's very hard, and it's a burden I'm going to have to carry the rest of my life. It's a heartbreak I'm going to have to carry the rest of my life. My voice is shaking. I'm sorry. I don't ever really talk about it. It's something I suppress, and I try to forget about, honestly, because it's very hard. I tell people I technically have 4 children. I tell people I have 3 because I don't ever want to have to explain to somebody what I went through and what I did. But when I hear MAGA Republicans try and say, you shouldn't have had sex, you shouldn't have done this, use birth control, use condoms, it pisses me off and breaks my heart because nobody should ever have to feel what I feel. I never want a woman to have to feel what I feel. I don't want birth mothers that had to reluctantly place their child for adoption to ever have to feel or go through the pain that I go through, because I love my birth daughter so much. She means everything to me. I hope when she turns 18, she comes to find me and I will tell her how much I love her and I wish I could have held her and kissed her and raised her. So it breaks my fucking heart when I hear these MAGA Republicans come on here and demean women for having accidents that we're not the only one that take part in that. We are not the only one. Men do it too. So why not regulate the fucking men? Why not have forced vasectomies? Why are we the ones that have to fear for our fucking lives? You know, because we have our medical rights taken away from us. It's fucking stupid. And nobody understands unless you go through it and you're in that situation. So, you know, I really hope that Kamala, she gets put into office, because I really have hope that she's going to get Roe v. Wade put back into place, and that's exactly where it needs to be. She needs to be in office. My fucking 7-year-old, he even knows that she needs to be in office.
We've got you. Look, yeah. I want to, first off, I want to say thank you so much for coming up and speaking on this. I think that from the get-go of all these conversations we have, and I'm not even talking about the overly like the conspiracy theorist MAGA Republicans, I want to preface this by making clear, when those MAGA Republicans come up here and talk, they're the worst of the worst. Yeah. I'm purposefully bringing them up to show moderate Republicans who are too shy to speak up, but are listening in for the educational experience, what they are voting with. And it's MAGA Republicans on the far right who dehumanize women, who treat you as stats, that we are pointing them out as the villains they are, and it's working. Just this morning, I received a message from 2 Republicans who were going to vote for Trump, who are now voting for Kamala, and I had a phone call with one last night who was tuning into the live stream and messaged the chat, and she is now voting for Kamala instead of Donald Trump as well. And those are the ones we're looking to reach. And I want you to know as well that we've got you. We've got your back on this, and you're not alone on this as well.
I really appreciate that.
I also want to make clear as well the fact that you are continuing to fight after such a deeply traumatic and I mean, that kind of experience. I can't even express that in words. But the fact that you chose to continue fighting for other women so that they don't have to face the same is beyond inspirational. And I hope that, one, you're proud of yourself, and I hope that you understand how much hope that gives to everybody who's listening in right now. That gives me hope. You are, by definition, a true American. You are by far what our country was supposed to be. You are an inspiration. And I just hope you know that you're not alone and that you're giving so many people a lot of hope.
I really appreciate it. I needed to hear that, because I've lost a lot of friends along the way, because they're very MAGA Republican, and they're very Christian, and they hate my stance on abortion rights. They think that I'm sick for thinking that women should have access to it. I don't like Christianity being in the government. I think it should stay exactly where it is, which is in a church. Mm-hmm. And I've lost a lot of friends. I don't hang out with anybody except for my sister, because of my political and religious stance on things. So, you know, when I come into these discords I watch Parker and Dean all the time. And when I watch you as well, or Polypolitics or anything like that, the community that surrounds you guys, y'all are my people, and y'all are what keeps me going. Y'all educate me even more to keep pushing for what's right and what I think other people should believe. So I appreciate you guys more than you ever will know.
We're just trolling MAGA Republicans online and trying to educate voters. What you're doing is fighting on the front line. So thank you again for everything you're doing. And I just followed you. If I want to have another conversation after the election and hopefully have you come back up. And I would love for you to continue sharing the story with folks as we continue conversating with people. I think that what you said is something that many MAGA Republicans need to continue to hear, that women aren't a stat. Women aren't a number that you can push around and regulate. Women are human beings and should be treated as such. So thank you again for coming up, Kelsey. I appreciate you taking the time.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Alrighty, folks. We are... My emotions are like, oh! I mean this so sincerely, MAGA Republicans. To any MAGA Republicans who are still tuning in, if at this point you're still voting for Donald Trump, I cannot wait to defeat you on election day. I cannot wait to watch your candidate lose. And then I, in the legal profession, cannot wait to do everything in my power and the power of every other American to put your candidate into the prison cell where he belongs. Because women deserve the right to choose. Women deserve justice for what you did to them. And they're going to get it. Get ready to be saying Madam President for the next 8 years of your life. Understood? So folks, I think what we're going to do here is go have lunch. It's about 1 p.m. on the East Coast. So actually, I know a lot of you on the West Coast are going to be eating breakfast. So let's go. I'm gonna cry, Kelsey. My heart breaks for Kelsey so much, but my heart is also healing at the aspect that Kelsey is like fighting for others at the same time. Like, to go through something so emotional and then to be able to heal so quickly, not because you were ready to heal, but because you knew that you had to heal to fight for others, is beyond inspirational. So I think we all go take a break. Let's all go take a break. Let's all go eat. But can we please one more time get some W Kelseys in the chat? Like, just 1,000 W Kelseys. Let's get some hearts in the chat for Kelsey. Kelsey deserves so much love, and America should be doing better for Kelsey. So let's show Kelsey that she's got a family here. We got Kelsey. We got you, Kelsey. All right. I don't think we do a raid or anything like that. I think on this Saturday, we all go take some time and go eat. Go have a good meal. You know, normally it's like, let's go raid whoever. Nah, I think this is a good time for everybody. Let's just go eat. Let's unwind. Let's go eat and treat yourself, you know? What are you guys having for lunch? Y'all doing anything good? I see we got some Panera bread. You know I love Panera. You know I love Panera. Pizza. Family lunch. Family lunchtime. Somebody just commented, yes, family lunchtime. Even if your family is your TV. Listen, do something to like treat yourself, you know? My family's my puppy. I can't wait. We're gonna go. You guys want to see? Hold on. Where is the... This is his portrait. Okay, so he is actually a boy, but they only had the dress available. He doesn't mind though. It's okay. He doesn't mind. He's downstairs. So we're gonna go eat. Not him. We're not gonna eat the dog. We're not JD Vance. We're not JD Vance. We're not eating the dog, just to be clear. We are gonna go eat with the dog. Anyhow. All right, folks. Y'all go enjoy a meal. I'll talk to you later, okay?